Hey everyone, you're listening to the official podcast of 4playernetwork.com. Check us out at that address for everything you need to know about our community, monthly giveaways, and nightly live streams. You can even support us on Patreon at patreon.com/4player. And last but not least, you can catch the live recordings of these podcasts every single Thursday night on our Twitch channel. We hope to see you there. Enjoy. The podcast hasn't started yet. We've been having audio issues, but it's going to start right now. Hey everyone, welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 541. My name is Nick Henderson. I'm joined this evening by Christopher Guthridge.
Hello.
Nolan Hedstrom.
How's it going, everybody?
And Carlos.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going, Carlos?
Pretty good.
You might need to move your mic a little closer to your mouth. I'm not entirely sure, but just in case. Sorry, we had a little bit of a late start this evening. If you're watching us live, we had some audio issues, but we are good to go. Of course, we're going to check in a while with Carlos about Into the Breach, because that's Carlos's like, oh my god, what is happening over here?
Calm down, killer.
We're going to talk to Carlos and Nolan more about Into the Breach, because they are both, as far as I know, balls deep in that game.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh god. What?
Me too.
Went
Yeah.
all
Oh,
in.
really?
Came
I
back
got like
for
15
seconds.
hours into it.
Shit. Everybody on the couch except for me has been playing Into the Breach, but we'll talk about that.
Well, we now know who the problem is.
Yep. Apparently so.
Didn't play FTL either.
I know, but I took it one step further than I ever did with FTL, and I bought Into the Breach. So I have it. It's ready to go.
So now you have 2 copies of FTL.
No, I didn't buy it through was it GOG that was
GOG
giving
was
away the
doing
free
that,
copy?
No,
of-
Steam gives it.
Steam did it.
Gives
I thought,
it
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Say what?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a copy of FTL?
You have a copy of FTL.
Holy shit.
Maybe.
No, you do. 100% you do.
100%.
98.
All right. I'll check when I get home. This is news to me. That's wonderful. Before we get too far into this, want to remind everybody, if you're not already in our Discord, our community Discord, we'd love to have you. All you have to do is go to discord.gg/4player, make an account, join in. All of our members of our community are in there. We're all in there all day long talking to each other about all kinds of random shit, including video games, which we're going to talk about today. I also would like to ask everybody, if you're listening to the show for the first time, or if you're a long-time listener, we'd really appreciate it if you would leave us a review on iTunes. That really helps us out, helps us move up through the rankings, which it would be very, very, very beneficial to us. But yeah, before we get into the video game, what's been up with everybody, huh? Crispy, you weren't here last week.
I wasn't here last week.
Why? What were you doing? Not hanging out with us.
I don't want to tell you.
Oh. Fine.
No, I got invited to a D&D session.
Oh.
So
As a
D&D is more
player,
important
I
than
don't
us.
get to play. I don't get to play a lot.
Oh, you get to play.
I run a lot. I run games all the time. I don't get to play hardly ever. And somebody invited me to a session, and I was like, you know what? Fuck these nerds. I'm going to go play D&D.
Nice.
So sorry I abandoned you guys for that, but
That's quite all right.
It was fucking good.
That's all right. Brad was able to come out of hiding to talk about Valkyria Chronicles and whatnot last week. Holy shit!
Thanks.
Sorry, Butters is learning how to close doors. Anybody seen anything? Well, I know Nolan. How's your Marvel thing going?
Oh, we're still on Thor: The Dark World.
Damn!
So
zero progress.
The problem was this past weekend, Bernadette's cousin had an engagement party.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it was a surprise wedding.
Oh shit!
Go fuck themselves. I was wearing a button-down shirt and some corduroys. Like we get to the restaurant or wherever the place is, and we walk out the door, and I see the what I thought was the guy fiance in like a tux, and then there's like an archway, and all these people are, and I'm like, go fuck yourselves.
Wait, I didn't know. Wait, I'm sorry. I never knew surprise weddings were a thing.
They've happened in the past before.
Damn.
But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was
God,
just,
don't you watch Parks and Recreation?
I didn't shave.
Not enough, apparently.
Like I was just like not at all ready for like a wedding.
You're wearing your Hawaiian
but
shirt.
Yeah, but like, who cares, right? They did that.
Yeah, I know.
They did that to themselves.
They did that.
They did.
Nobody cares.
But yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it. And then on Sunday night we did watch the Oscars.
I wish there were more engagement parties that just turned out to be the wedding, because then it's like, great, now I don't have to do 2 things. It's all right here in one.
And they can't blame me for not being dressed up.
Right.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
No best man speeches?
That's true. No best man speeches.
There was a best man speech.
Oh, so the best man was in on it, and he knew what was up. Oh, interesting.
Devilish.
I made it through Iron Man 2, and wait, was it just Iron Man 2 that I watched? What comes after
Maybe.
Iron Man 2?
After Iron Man 2,
Iron Man
Captain
3.
America, the first Avenger?
Yeah, so I made it through Iron Man 2.
Okay.
I still don't own, because the Avengers is coming out. All of the fucking movies are shot up in price. They're all at minimum $20 now.
Fools. Fools.
I know. Very smart of them, but god damn it. Iron Man 2 is better than I remember.
It's not a bad movie. I like it.
I enjoyed it. It's not bad. It's
Iron
not
Man
bad. In
3
fact, I don't
is
think
the
it's my
best.
least favorite Iron Man
you,
anymore.
Marvel
Carlos.
movie.
Fuck
It's
you,
so good.
Carlos. Up
Wait,
your
what?
butthole
Iron Man 3.
with a big steak.
Iron Man 3 ain't bad either.
It's pretty good.
I mean, we had this discussion, right?
Yeah.
We said there's no like solidly like bad Marvel movie, right?
Maybe
They're
Iron
all-
Man 2.
They're all,
It has taken me over 2 weeks to get through Thor: The Dark World.
but even like I don't think there's a single movie like if you look. So if you were just base it purely on looking at Rotten Tomatoes, I don't think there's a single one that has a rotten score.
Well, yeah.
I don't think. I could be wrong.
No one said they were trash.
I feel like a lot of people thought Iron Man 2 and 3 were both trash. I
Well,
don't
when
think
you
they
put them
are.
on a scale with the other movies, they're
Maybe
basically
by
trash.
comparison.
Yeah.
By comparison, there were a lot of people in our Discord I discovered over the past few days that have it out for like some odd choices like Spider-Man: Homecoming and Civil War.
what
Like
about 'em?
people were like just shitting all over them. And
Oh, those people are what we call idiots.
but like they were coming out of the woodwork. I was trying to defend it. And I was like, people was like, I hated it too. I hated it too. I was like, what is going on? Where did all these people come from? This is ridiculous.
So like Civil War has the problem
The
of,
villain problem.
right, its plot doesn't make any sense,
yeah.
which some people think, I guess, is automatically just like a bad thing. I don't think that's necessarily
Is it
true.
the plot as a whole that doesn't make sense, or just
Well,
the villain?
I think it's also
No,
why the people who made the decisions they made them. Like, why did Iron Man want to do? Like, why did Tony Stark want to pro registration, and why was Iron Man? You think Captain America? You think he would want to be like, to keep people's power in check?
No. I feel like those characters. Okay, that conflict is played way better in the movie than it is in the comics. In the comics, you don't understand why Tony's pro-registration. You don't understand why Cap's anti-registration. It just feels like they're setting up for a fight. You know, it doesn't do anything to like humanize either position really. You kind of are just like, I think most people were with Cap in the comics just because it's Cap.
It's
and,
Cap,
like,
yeah.
and the whole story is kind of like more told from his position than it is from Tony's. In the movie, they do a really good job of taking the quote unquote bad position, Tony's, and making it seem like it makes a lot of sense, and the good position, Cap's, and making like after a certain point, you're like, why are you still doing this? Like, you've lost all your friends. You are sacrificing everybody for the sake of this guy who you don't even know if he's like, I don't know. I feel like the movie did a lot better job selling the conflict than the comic books did. The whole plot just happens to be driven by Zemo's plan, and Zemo's plan doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And some people just like really can't get past that. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think a lot of times when you're talking about movies, when you're talking about any sort of dramatic work, sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes thematic and emotional truth kind of trumps factual truth. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie has to do these things because it's a movie, and like it was like I was saying during the Shadow Colossus discussion. It goes back to Alfred Hitchcock that movies should be stronger than reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think we were going to spend
I
this
get
much
why.
time on it.
I'm just saying, no,
it's fine,
No,
Crispy.
this is a discussion I've had a lot with people lately, specifically about Civil War and Spider-Man: Homecoming. I've watched a lot now. I've seen Spider-Man: Homecoming like 6 times. It's still a good movie. I do not like it as much as I did the first time I saw it.
Well, you shouldn't have watched it that many times.
I guess
You ruined it for yourself.
I guess it is really good. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's in the upper half of the Marvel movies.
Upper half.
It's in the upper half of the Marvel movies, but it is no longer in my top 3.
Oh, it's at least in my top 5. At
Crispy?
least.
Yeah,
Give it 3 years and then watch it again, and you'd be surprised it might jump back up.
maybe. Maybe. I haven't
Depends
watched
on how this roller coaster goes. This roller coaster that is Marvel.
I haven't watched the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans in a long time, and I really want to go back and try that again.
I watched them right before Homecoming.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is the only good Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. I'm sorry.
See,
I'm sorry.
I don't think that's true though.
Oh.
I think 1 and 2.
I think Spider-Man
actually
1. I
probably
think Spider-Man 1
fantastic
is okay. Spider-Man 1 is a good movie, but the way they did the villain to me almost makes it unwatchable. Like I cannot take it seriously.
What?
He looks like a fucking Power Rangers reject. It's terrible.
But it's Willem Dafoe.
See,
Yeah,
like
no,
that,
Willem Dafoe's
that's
a
what I'm
great
talking about
choice.
right
Being
there.
fucking
with
wild.
Cobra. It's the fact that like the plot is kind of driven by Zemo's plan, and Zemo's plan doesn't make a lot of sense. But the plot, like what's happening with the characters, the way the characters arc in the movie, the way the characters react to specific situations, the way the characters play off one another, all of that is fucking golden. The fact that Zemo's plan isn't like the most transparent, like well thought out thing in the world actually kind of doesn't really hinder the movie that much. If it, I mean, maybe it does for you, like maybe that's just something that is a problem, but it really, like, the movie makes a lot of thematic sense, and as a dramatic work, is pretty good.
All right, I think we should move on.
I also think Tobey Maguire is the worst Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You remember that scene from Spider-Man 2 that's like a homage to the Evil Dead movies?
Wait, sorry, which one?
In the operating theater?
Oh, yeah.
We're trying to remember. That's pretty good.
That movie is fucking great.
Where Peter Parker changes into the Spider-Man suit, and that dude on the street is like, "Yo, he stole that dude's pizza." That's pretty good too.
Yeah. That's a good movie. That's because that's a good movie.
When Spider-Man fucking, like, stops the train, and then, like, the people...
Everyone catches him.
Yeah,
the train
people, like,
sequence is
carry
one of
him,
the
like-
best fucking sequences ever. No one's doing the face.
I love that fucking
the face
I
where he's
love
like
the-
he puts his feet
yeah.
down in the railroad
when you
tracks.
when you nutted but she keeps sucking.
Oh, when he... Yeah.
God damn it.
I love that.
I feel really bad about being super critical about those movies because I do think a lot of my criticism stems from the fact that Tobey Maguire just looks fucking goofy. Like, his face is just a goofy face, and sometimes it's hard to take him seriously. But, like,
he's kind of like Jake
it's
Gyllenhaal
not
in
like,
that sense.
But
He's
it's
kinda like
not
Jake
like
Gyllenhaal.
he's not putting in a good performance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
He definitely tried.
He's doing it. No, it's not. No. It's not that he tried. It's that he did a good
No,
job.
I'm saying he gave it his
It's
all, and
just like,
yeah.
Sometimes his face just looks a little goofy.
Like,
You know what? I think I said this before, but Spider-Man 2 is a fucking amazing movie.
It's not. I've
until the
always said
last.
Spider-Man 2 is not just like a good superhero movie. It's just a good movie. Period.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a great movie, and then it's amazing all the way up until the very last, like one of the very last
Dude,
scenes in the movie where he
gift
grabs
that-
Mary
hold on.
Jane.
I love this gift that J52 posted. I love this. When you look at the way the winds, like clearly that Spider-Man's like a mannequin. Like he doesn't move.
Right, he doesn't move at
and
all.
her hair's blowing in the wrong direction.
Dude, I'm trying to picture how she's like, I'm trying to picture how they filmed this scene and how she's probably just like
It's
clutching
probably
a
just a
mannequin,
green screen
You know,
behind her, and they rotate
It's
the camera.
it's
and there's
like
a fan blowing.
it's a 2-second cutaway shot, and when you sit here and you watch it over and over and you analyze it, yeah, you can pick apart every little thing that's like, obviously that's not real Spider-Man. but in the sequence of events, because this is like right after this
movie
is,
magic.
This is right after the
parade?
the parade, right?
Yeah.
The Green Goblin, like that whole sequence, like taken as it is, like
It's a great.
it works. Like it's good.
No, I'm just.
He's shorter than her.
Who cares if
probably.
he's shorter than her? Let's do the fucking show. We've been like,
I
let's
didn't
just
get
do the
to-
show.
I just want to mention the one
What?
last thing.
What's
It
that,
always
Nick?
kills me in Spider-Man 2. Is at the very end, he picks up, like when they're in, after, all the shit happens to Doc Ock and they're on he picks up Mary Jane and then like shoots
Shoots
a
at
web
nothing?
into the sky and swings and goes up.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't
up
make
into
a
the
whole lot of
sky.
sense.
No explanation.
And then Dashboard Confessional starts playing.
Dashboard Confessional starts playing.
It's very much a product of the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's still a damn good movie. I'm going to say that.
I
It's
mean-
still a damn good movie. Anyways, we spent too much time talking about Marvel. I didn't mean to go on that.
God damn it, Nick! Look what you did.
But you know what?
No, it's okay. This is
I'll
good.
go watch that movie.
We're getting ready for the Avengers. They moved it up a
This is
week.
good.
Now I'm even more panicked to try and
I
watch it all.
know,
Also,
right?
I'm like still panicking because I still haven't seen anything from that movie, but it's getting harder. It's getting real hard. All right. Okay. Feedback. Let's read some feedback from last week. I do want to remind everybody if there's anything that we talk about on tonight's podcast and you would like to chime in on it, You can leave us a comment at 4playernetwork.com on the post for this episode, and we'll read and react to it at the start of the next episode. So I'm actually going to go real quick back 2 weeks, because Crispy wasn't here last week. He had a nice discussion about aggro in Shadow of the Colossus.
Aggro.
Yeah, and there was a very well-written response to that. I wanted to give Crispy an opportunity to respond to it. Necrotechno 2 weeks ago said, in regards to Crispy's comments on Shadow of the Colossus, when Crispy made a comment that pointed out that people came to the defense of aggro for emotional reasons, I don't think that necessarily undermines aggro's importance. And when the discussion turned to say that the core themes of Shadow of the Colossus would strip the horse away, I don't quite agree with that. I believe the game makes important statements about loss, romantic love, as well as companionship. But how split the audience perception has been on how Team Eco implemented aggro's controls obviously shows that this is an issue in itself. But I do like to think that aggro has an important place in Shadow of the Colossus's thematic elements and is not just a tool for traversal. Crispy, go.
Okay. Excellent comment, and I largely agree with everything you've said. I would clarify a couple points. I don't think that people defending aggro based on emotional reasons undermines the importance of that defense or undermines aggro's importance. I don't think that. I was merely just saying that I think that's where a lot of the love comes from. I don't think anybody is actually of the position that this was good game design over the fact that like this made a more impactful emotional experience for the player. You know what I'm saying? The other thing I would clarify is that I didn't say that if you strip Shadow of the Colossus down to its basic core themes, that aggro would necessarily be removed. I just said that I think you could remove him and still keep those themes pretty much intact.
Yeah.
I don't think he would necessarily be divorced from that, but at the same time, I don't know that he would necessarily be 100% essential to that.
But the thing is, when you think about it that way too, and you actually do think about if you were to take him out and not losing much from the ultimate experience,
right,
that does make him seem more like a tool for traversal, even though I don't think that's necessarily what he is or what they want people to think he is.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, what he's saying about the game making statements about loss, romantic love, and companionship, yes, absolutely. I think you can definitely make a very cogent argument for all of that. The split audience reception by how split the audience reception has been on how Team Eco implemented aggro's controls obviously shows that it's an issue in and of itself. Maybe, but at the same time, and I think maybe I said this last week, I don't know if this is necessarily the direction that I ended on, but any sort of artistic endeavor, the more of a firm stance, the more of a firm position you take, the more of like a crystallized idea that you're attempting to convey to an audience, the more you are narrowing your audience. Okay? So unless like the themes and the story elements that you're trying to get across to that audience are like just really shallow and kind of universal, if you're trying to like do anything of any real importance, you know, there's always going to be the quote unquote people who get it and the quote unquote people who don't get it. You know, it's not right or wrong one way or the other. I think that's just, I think the fact that there is such a split reception to it, but that both sides could make such compelling arguments as for why it's a good thing or why it's a bad thing, kind of shows that they had a really concise, focused vision for what they wanted out of the game. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But yeah, that was a great comment.
Cool. Thank you, Crispy. Thank you, Necrotechno. Now, as moving on to comments from last week's episode, Sir Thomas Thipple says, Brad is on the right track with my name. It's actually TH fronted, so that it's technically pronounced Sir Thomas Thipple. What?
Just keep reading, Nick.
Of course, now that everyone knows my name is stupid, I have no choice but to kill myself. All right. Next. Can you scroll down? Thank you. Fourth Horseman says, since you all brought up the Mad Pooper from Colorado, I wonder if you have heard about the shit bandit in Arkansas from earlier this year. Oh my god, he posted a link.
Don't click it. Just keep reading.
A summary in case nobody clicks. Dude runs between two cars in a driveway and defecates between them. One time he wipes with a paper towel and left it on the car door handle. Oh god. Apparently many people in the town mentioned similar things happening to them. What is going on?
Have y'all seen that GIF? I recently saw it where there's like a guy walking down like a street and he sees like kind of like an alcove, and so he jumps in there to take a shit. And so he squats down, shits, but then right as he's trying to get up, he slips and falls in it.
Oh no!
And then
Guys,
he has to like run away.
I swear to God, this might be built on the Patreon question we had last week, but like I was driving home from work once, and I drive down this road that's like really, really busy, and it's not like a highway, but it's like a connecting road, and it's two ways, and there are apartments and condos and everything along this road. Yeah. I swear to God, I saw a woman taking a shit in like a bush in the middle of rush hour traffic.
Hey, at least she was doing
bumper to bumper traffic. She might have been peeing, but I'm pretty sure the way she was like clutching,
when you gotta
like
go,
bearing
you gotta
down.
go.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Dude, I don't know.
Kidney stones?
Come on, that guy was in jail for 47 days without taking a shit. If he can do it, you can do it.
I cannot believe
you can
that.
handle another hour. Like,
yeah. Oh my god. Anyways, moving on. Liam Dupreez says, "While I do agree a lot with what Brad said about Valkyria Chronicles 4 demo, that's really hard to say.
Fours.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles 4's demo. Yeah. There really is a lot more to put it far and away from Valkyria Chronicles 1.5. Okay, sorry.
We'll get you there, Nick.
Thank
get
you.
you up to that
I'm so sorry.
10th grade reading level.
I'm so sorry. It's a very complex sentence, okay? The Grenadier class, the giant landship thing, yes, that's a whole thing that is brand new, which incorporates new aspects to tactics and support orders from all of your units, and the return to a more mature tone from Valkyria Chronicle 2's infamy. I'm sorry, this is really hard to read. Allows this to be a return What? Okay, sorry, Crispy. Read that whole sentence. I can't do it.
Okay, and the return to a more mature tone from Valkyria Chronicle 2's infamy allows this to be a return, certainly, but a welcome one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I couldn't get through that. Reverting back to previous form is something we wish for in a lot of games, especially when it was following a negative trend, like what happened with Hitman after Absolution, for example. I think Valkyria Chronicles 4 definitely is a step back towards Valkyria Chronicles 1, but there really is a lot of new aspects to keep us interested. Lastly, a big part about Valkyria Chronicles 1's excellence came from its changes and variations to level design and how each battle played completely differently. And in that demo, it seems they've already started doing that, which is a plus. I hope this doesn't sound too critical. I really am super excited for Valkyria Chronicles 4, and I'm glad that Brad voiced his opinions. And really appreciate y'all's work every week. Thanks. Have a great 541.
Well put.
Well put, yeah. I mean, I'm certainly very excited for
Brad
it.
kind of lukewarm on it?
I think he was lukewarm on it. Well, not lukewarm, because he is still very enthusiastic about it, but he did note
he's
that
skeptical and he has some concerns.
most of them
it's not different enough?
Well, most of them stemming from a lot of the improvements they made in 2 and 3 have been scrapped for the most part.
Have they been scrapped, or they just weren't in the
demo?
In
the demo, it seems like they've been scrapped. So who knows? Maybe we'll get a better picture of it when the game actually comes out, and it will actually be more different. But right now, he said it seems like 1.5.
Gotcha.
So last comment for today, Haas3000 says, I enjoyed the personal stories of people shitting in public in this podcast, especially of the shit sprayed wall.
What?
You missed that one, Crispy.
Oh, God.
I was laughing so hard listening to this podcast on my way to work that I was literally crying. I can never get enough poop and fart humor. Good job.
We know our audience.
That one's for you, Haas.
Yep, we apparently do know our audience. We also cannot get enough.
Let me tell you my disgusting story, Nick. I was riding the bus one time, and a dude makes the stop, and right before he stands up, he like sticks his fingers down his throat and like pukes all over the floor, and then runs out of the bus.
What?
And I was just sort of like, what?
You wanted to make sure he puked on the bus?
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to get it on your shoes or when you're...
Why not get off the bus and then puke in like the bushes? Or
I was
something?
like, homie, what are you doing?
Nick,
maybe he's like,
Nick,
fuck that bus
listen
driver.
to this. If you get off the bus and you puke on the sidewalk, it's just going to sit there. if you do it on the bus, someone's gonna clean it up.
Right.
So I mean,
I'm sure that I am certain
If you
that's
puke on the sidewalk, some animal's gonna come and eat it, and that's just.
but then that's gonna have animals get drawn towards traffic, which could cause an accident.
Right.
I can guarantee
It could upset the entire ecosystem.
I can guarantee you he did not have that train of thought when he made that decision. That's disgusting, Carlos. Thank you for sharing. Maybe we'll share some more disgusting stories in the second segment when we get more questions from our Patreon supporters. Who knows? Anyways, thank you so much for your comments, guys. Like I said, if you want to chime in on anything tonight, leave us a comment on the site at 4playernetwork.com, and we'll read it at the start of next week's episode. Now, I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Fuck it. Y'all going to talk about Into the Breach.
Fuck it.
Y'all been playing the shit ton of Into the Breach. Carlos?
All right.
Carlos, I know you're like super balls deep in this.
We haven't heard from Carlos on Into the Breach yet, so
Let's hear it.
All right. So
How dank is this game?
I went pretty hard in this game.
how many hours you have in this, Carlos?
Steam says 55, but it's probably more like 30. It's still an impressive amount. It's still
Good
an
Lord.
impressive amount. Yeah, I know. It's fine.
What do you think?
I like it. I really like it. I had a lot of fun with it. I was telling Crispy on the right here that once you like step back and take it all in, it's more like a puzzle game that provides you with
it's
fresh
100%
puzzles
a puzzle game.
every time you load it up.
Yeah.
Like you're not replaying the same puzzles every time. You get different ones. But
Wait,
like
is this thing's are the maps randomly generated?
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I think some of them are like standard in a certain way, and it's not randomly; it's more procedurally generated.
There are like mission types. So
Yeah.
like,
Correct.
you'll see
There's
the
like-
same
there's like
kind of,
map
objectives
archetypes.
pop up. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like map archetypes.
But like the actual layout of the
Right.
8x8
It's-
grid.
it's
can be
random,
Details
and
change.
so is
Carlos,
so is the places in which the
our,
enemies
our,
spawn.
our man in the field Gamerbeck says Steam says you have 64 hours into this game.
You?
Oh shit!
He's like, oh, I forgot about that 14
prob-
hours I added today.
I mean, like to be honest, am I playing it right now? Because it might just be like at
Racking
home
up time.
running.
Running,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Still
Nick,
on a
what
turn.
I'll say about it is, yeah, so it's procedurally generated, but even on that same map, like what happens could change every single time.
Completely different.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the AI just does its thing. It could do something, whatever. So, and that being said, and not only every time are the maps different and the enemies, how they interact with the world different, but the fact is every single mech is so different from each other. The mechs themselves are the same to an extent,
But different.
Yeah,
But still same.
yeah, same.
Look,
Yeah,
let me
we're
tell
saying.
you something.
But because they all start with different weapons, how they interact with the world completely changes it. I since the last podcast, I've unlocked 2 new sets of mechs. This is one of them that I didn't have in the last podcast, and holy shit, just how
What, the laser team?
yeah, the laser
didn't
team.
have the laser team?
No, I didn't have the laser team.
Dude, that was like the first one I unlocked.
Why?
They're fucking dope.
Chris, you don't have to go. You can unlock them in any order, though.
No, I know.
I was going for the fire ones first because I thought that sounded.
I
cool.
just saw the fucking silhouette of the
silhouettes
one.
of
I
them,
was
yeah.
like, that's Metal Gear Rex.
Yeah.
Click.
Done.
and so like I said, every time I start with a new team, I feel like I'm playing a new game.
Yeah.
And I did Carlos.
really
I did do the one. What is that? The team that hurts themselves.
Oh, hazardous mechs.
volatile-
hazardous
the
mechs.
yeah.
Hazardous mechs, Nick. Every single attack they do hurts themselves.
Yeah.
But
But it's a trade-off.
there's a passive ability you can get that will every time you kill a mech.
Well, they come with it by default.
Well, yeah, it comes with them, but you can turn it off if you were
Sure.
dumb. Every time you kill a mech, you gain health. And finally, like a little ways through my run, which I ended up beating the game in that run, I got the self-destruct mechanism, so I could blow myself up. All 4 cardinal directions around me, anything would pretty much die. But because of that, I would gain, if there was 4 enemies around me, I would gain 4 health.
Oh.
And so, like, I could blow myself up but live.
You know, it's pretty smart how that brings the pilot back from the dead rather than just bringing the mech
Yeah.
empty by itself.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, like with the amount of hours that I played this game, I have a couple issues with it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's perfect, Carlos.
I know, it's fine, and I think it's unfair that this game gets so often compared to FTL because they're not remotely similar.
This is from the makers of FTL,
Yeah, but
and it
even-
has the same Ben Prunty, the guy who did the music for FTL, is this.
I think a lot of
that is the only similarity between
but
the two.
even then, people will continuously say like,
They
"Oh
even
yeah,
have it all over their
this
marketing
is
now.
this is cool," but in FTL,
it's because they want people to know that.
Well, yeah, I
hey,
know.
the
I'm
game
just
you
saying.
love-
Of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
they're gonna
This
they're gonna
was
draw
cooler.
comparisons.
But I think a couple of comparisons are fair. Like on FTL, you start off with your ship, and by the end of your run or towards the end of your run, if you don't manage to finish, like the ship you have is completely different than the one you started with.
Correct.
Like, and you have to pull off a series of gambles throughout the run. Like, say you go into a store and you find a really cool weapon that you don't have the power to equip. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna take a gamble. I'm gonna spend all my scrap on this weapon rather than spending it on upgrading my shields or repairing my hull, and hopefully in a couple jumps
Hopefully, I'll be able to use it.
I'll be able to use it. So it's a gamble that you're taking, and I think you never have to take a gamble like this in this game.
Yeah.
Like a couple of the weapons that I found like in my runs, like like how after you finish an island you get to go to a store and purchase new weapons and stuff. Like it's very rare that I actually end up buying like a weapon to replace my mech's primary weapon.
Correct. I think I've only ever done that once.
Like it's not appealing.
I've gotten to the point where like anytime I'm in a store, I'm basically using all of my reputation to buy cores. Yeah, because they like those give you so much more advantages than switching weapons or anything like that.
And some of the weapons that I found in the stores are so much more creative and interesting than the ones that any of the teams spawn with. Like I found a weapon that's called like a Cyclone Fist, and what it does is it strikes all tiles around your mech and moves them one space to the left, while also damaging you for 2 health or whatever.
That's pretty good.
And like, despite how cool that may sound, like there's no real incentive for me to actually buy that, because what I have, like my regular punching attack that I've upgraded a couple times, it's too good to like change for something else.
So you're literally only gonna make that change purely out of the desire to.
Yeah, like if I'm playing through some like self-imposed challenge or whatever. Yeah. And I wish that the 10 starting squads were a little more creative than what they actually are, because in the end they all boil down to you have a guy that punches, you have a guy that shoots, and you have that guy that either pushes or pulls, and that's it. So if you had to start off a game with this like Cyclone Punch mech, like you would have to like alter your playstyle completely. Like you would actually be looking forward to being able to upgrade the Cyclone attack, because the first upgrade you can buy for it reduces the damage you do yourself. So it makes it more viable.
Well, in that regard,
in that situation, you'd actually be looking forward to maybe finding a weapon that you can buy and use as a secondary for those situations in which that weapon is just not going to work, or just one that outright replaces it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in the scenario, and that's one of the cool things about this game, is you never upgrade your weapons. You upgrade your mech, which gives it more power, so you can put more power into a weapon that will make it either do less damage to you, do more damage to enemies, do something cool. So when you do find that Cyclone thing later on, you might already have enough power to get it to its like best form that makes it a more viable option. So yeah, it's a scenario where like multiple times so far, even when I'm casting, I've gotten to a situation where I'm like, wow, this weapon sounds really cool, but my runs come really far, and I don't want to fuck up by switching my playstyle now, because I've gotten used to how this mech works and how its weapon interacts with the enemies and interacts with my teammates, and so I don't want to risk like losing. And maybe it's just because I'm still trying to go for certain things. Like I think at one point I was being super cautious because there's an achievement for having one pilot go through 3 timelines, and I was on my second timeline. I was on my third timeline. All I had to do was get to the final battle, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking try. Like, I found a really cool sounding weapon, but I'm like, I don't want to risk it, and I fucking lose it all, and like I have to go through then 3 more times. And so I was like playing super safe because I knew that the crew I had, I knew how their weapons worked, and I was just like, yeah, play it safe.
See, that's why I wish that there was. I wish that some of the squads that you start off with got a little crazier, because then you would have the time to like learn how to use this weapon, and like it'd be a more interesting game. Fortunately, this seems like stuff that can be easily modded, and people are already making mods for it. But like, and again, comparing it to FTL, like some of the ship variants that you unlocked were pretty fucking like crazy.
Yeah.
Like some ships only had one crew member and a bunch of drones. Some of them had no shields, and it was more expensive to buy that first shield upgrade. Some of them had like
one that was like didn't have enough power to power all of its systems or weapons, but it had the
battery,
the Volt or the Zoltan or whatever crew members, so you had to use them as power.
Yeah, like, I think the ship designs in FTL are way. I mean, the mech teams themselves are pretty creative. I just don't think they go as far as FTL did with its ship layouts.
That's true.
And I think that's a fair comparison to make between the two games.
The one thing that's kind of been like irking me a little bit is the pilots, because you know, as you play and complete missions with pilots, they level up and they earn more bonuses.
Sure.
I just haven't dived deep enough into the game yet, but like it doesn't. I don't get it. Like I don't get the whole pilot thing. I don't get like why I should care about saving any of my pilot. Like I guess basically what I'm getting at is when you lose a game and it's like, okay, we got to jump to a new timeline, you can only take one of your pilots, right? I feel like that moment, that decision is never going to be
hard.
Difficult. Is never going to be like the dramatic moment that it should.
I don't think it's meant to be a dramatic moment.
No, but I mean, like, hang on. What I'm saying is, like, that is a game mechanic that doesn't really have much bearing on the game. It's kind of more like, I feel like that's in there more just to keep the thematic element of we're time traveling, so like send a pilot back in time, woo. But like what I'm saying is the pilots level up so quickly and then they stop, and then it's like I feel like at that point I've spent so much time with this one pilot, but he's not getting any better, so like maybe I'm kind of just like wasting my time with this pilot. Like maybe I should get a new one.
It's probably
like,
it's an incentive so you don't lose them, because like when you die,
that's what I'm saying. I don't care if I lose them because it's only going to take a few missions to level up a new one. Like it doesn't matter. Like if the pilots, what I'm saying is
it's not going to be the same pilot.
If the pilots leveled up more, like if their progression was longer, if they could get like much better than how they start, then maybe I would care about losing them. But like a base, like any of the pilot characters, if you take their base model versus like their maximum leveled model, like I don't think it makes enough of a difference for me to ever give a shit.
I mean, it depends. There are
the mech just seems so much more important.
I mean,
but the pilots have their own sets of abilities.
Well, yeah, no, the mechs are important, but
some of them, yeah, but like a lot of what makes the pilots. Like, a lot of what makes the pilot, like, really good, like, their innate ability that's like, oh, I'm gonna bring this guy because he can do that, is innate to them. Like, they have that from the first mission through their last mission. Like,
gotcha.
It's not ever anything that they earn or that
See,
you're gonna lose.
I wish those abilities were the ones that you actually gained when you leveled up, rather than the +1 move, +1 reactor, +1 HP.
But sometimes pilots do gain certain abilities that let them either have an extra reactor or do this or change something, which, don't get me wrong, is not like game changing, but it can be very helpful when you have a certain mech that I can either, make this attack do more damage and hurt me, or I can use that, now that I have that extra reactor, I can now instead use this other method that doesn't do any more damage to me.
What would make the investment in the pilots a little more interesting?
I just don't
if the
think
special ability that they have was the last one they gained.
Yeah.
Because then that'd be an incentive to keep them alive.
If they're like key, if they're like their character ability was like the last thing you unlock.
Ability,
like once you unlock, I agree with that. I think that would make it more like as it sits right now. Like I don't know. It's just like it's not the Sophie's Choice that I feel like it should be.
I don't think they're meaning for it to be that way.
I feel like it serves more of a thematic purpose than it does an actual gameplay purpose, because really at the end of the day, like the mechs leveling up is way more important than the pilot leveling up. Is just kind of like where I'm at with it. Not saying that that's like breaking the game for me or anything, or ruining my experience. I just kind of wish that maybe had a little more.
When you get a pilot that levels up and gains +3 grid defense, like I know who's getting killed next run.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Bye, loser. And now you're talking about like the time traveling and how this is more meant to be like a lore thing. Brad was talking last week, because I caught a bit of the show, about how Chris Avallone was the writer for this, but there's not really a lot of writing in the game. But what little there is in the game, it's actually pretty good. Like the little dialogue that the pilots have, it like makes reference to like the islands and the backstory and other pilots and stuff. Like Isaac Jones, the pilot that has the ability with the double turn.
Yeah, he can do double.
He's double turns. Like he stutters, right? And at some point he says that he stutters as a result of him having gone through so many jumps that it's starting to mess with his brain. And then one time I beat the game and I started a new one with him, and on the first island I jumped to, he was like, dude, my stutter is gone. I think that last jump fixed it. And then
that's cool.
Yeah, and then it came back, like the stutter came back later in the game. And I thought it was really funny. But yeah, there's some pretty cool, interesting dialogue.
Yeah.
Another gripe I have with the game is pretty minor, but you can rename your individual mechs, but you can't rename like a custom squad. Like you can't rename it. And sometimes when they drop in like the little buildings, they have little speech bubbles pop up, and it's like, oh, they're here. Like if you're playing as the Rift Walkers are here, and it'd be pretty cool to have like the fucking Goober Stompers are here or some shit like that. But no, they just say
memes.
They just say that, oh, the time travelers are here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish they gave me the ability to name my mechs just to see the text come up every now and then.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, that would be.
This game's pretty
And
good,
also, I haven't quite figured out. You're able to go on to the final battle after your second island.
Yeah.
And the difficulty of the final
Is
island,
that like normal? Is that like
it's normal, yeah. Like the difficulty of the final island,
Scales
it's
to
supposed
whatever.
to scale. So it's supposed to be equally difficult. Were you going in on a 2-island victory, a 3-island victory, a 4-island victory?
Correct.
And I've done all those length playthroughs, and I still haven't figured out just quite how that scaling works. I think it would make more sense if the final battle was this like incredibly difficult thing that would be made easier from you completing all islands, like leveling up your mechs more. But you being able to do it from the second island should feel like more of a challenge. Like, oh, I'm going into this underpowered, but I still think I'm good enough to pull it off.
Kind of like in Breath of the Wild, where you can go fight Ganon anytime.
Yeah, I think that makes
the
more sense
The
than
more
the way
of the metagame you play, the easier time you have with that boss.
Yeah, I think it would make more sense if it worked that way instead of the way it works now.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what the reasoning is behind that, but whatever.
It's weird.
And speaking of difficulty, I've managed to beat the game in all difficulties, easy, normal, and hard.
Jesus.
I beat hard. I beat hard on a second island run because to keep playing is riskier than to just go in. Like
just get it over with.
Yeah,
rip the Band-Aid off.
that's why I think like that doesn't make sense. Like I should be encouraged to like make my mech stronger, or maybe like by weakening the Vec in the islands, you weaken the Hive. So there's an incentive for you to like finish playing islands rather than jump in.
Or there were specific bonuses that you could only get from completing this island or this island. You know.
Yeah, I'm guess there's a reasoning that it's a way for you to like auto select your difficulty if the scaling actually works the way they're saying. Like, oh, I want to make this harder, so I'm gonna wait until the 4 islands are done
islands
to go. Yeah,
interesting.
But there is a significant jump between like easy and normal.
Yeah, no,
it's
there
like
is.
whoa.
So, did I ask last week what the recommendation was for someone like me who is
dude? Go play on easy. Like even like if you play on normal, you're gonna get stomped.
Play
way
on
too
easy
quick
just so you understand how the game works.
for you to like unlock and like, if you want to unlock some more shit, play on easy. Play on easy to unlock all the shit you want.
Yeah.
And then play on normal and then try getting hard as shit.
I started playing on easy just to like complete
achievements and
unlock new mech. Like I made a custom mech team that's just the punching robot from the first team, the Metal Gear Rex robot, and the tank. On easy, that team is unstoppable. For some reason, the bully, like just the fucking brute force team on easy is like they just can't keep up.
See, but like comparing the difficulties, the way I see them is when you play on easy mode, your goal is not to defeat the final battle. Your goal is to defeat the final battle and get all the side missions. Because like there's no reason for you not to do them. Like that's your actual goal. When you play on normal, your goal is to make it to the final battle and win it. You're not going to be able to complete every side mission. Like, you're going to have to actually make decisions, which I think is where this game gets pretty good. Like when you're playing a map, you're thinking like, I'm not going to be able to complete this side objective without losing some buildings in the process. Like I'm just not going to be able to. So you have to like try to decide, what are you going to sacrifice? Like, maybe it's your last battle on that island and you have a perfect record up until then. Like, maybe it's worth sacrificing those buildings to get the perfect island bonus. But going on to the next island at low HP, you might lose on the first battle.
Well, it's also a scenario if you're towards the end of that island and you still have that perfect bonus. The thing is, you lose the ability to get that extra reward, which could be pretty valuable.
Yeah.
The extra rewards can be cores, they can be weapons, they can be pilots, they can be like multiple power. And so I mean, it's always, when you get in that scenarios that you're not doing perfect, when you're not like stomping the enemies and you're actually having to make those decisions, it can be kind of like, I don't know what to do. Like,
and something else, the final battle is really anticlimactic.
Yeah,
like, it just
I'll
feels
agree
like
with that.
one more random battle from the map.
There's not anything super special about it.
Yeah, like, it doesn't feel like this like big.
Besides them throwing
up,
they do throw a lot of enemies at you compared to a normal battle.
Yeah, but I mean, you do like regain your mech health in between both phases.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really not that difficult. And even if you lose the Renfield bomb, they drop another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never lost it.
They drop another one.
Oh,
you still have to defend it for 4 additional turns.
Oh, it adds 4 more turns?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But-
Interesting.
So it kind of seems to me like, as an outsider who has not yet played this, or FTL.
Oh my god,
Choose
why
your
haven't you
words
played
carefully.
FTL, dog? What is wrong with you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to 3 people who have played FTL, who love FTL, who have played a fairly significant portion of this game. It seems to me like maybe this is not as well received.
Shut the
Hold on.
fuck up.
Hold on.
I could be
Hold
wrong.
the fuck
Hold
up.
I
on,
could
Nick.
be wrong.
Hold on. Nick, calm down. FTL has issues. It definitely does. The reason Carlos is talking about the issues he has with this game is because he's
I'm not
50.
opposed to hearing about
I know,
issues.
He's 50 hours in. When you're in the first like 20 hours or 10
Dude,
hours,
even at-
it's fucking
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the honeymoon phase.
Even at 50
Everything's
hours,
amazing.
Even at 55 hours, it's more like 30. Come on.
Okay.
Like, I went to work and I left the game running because I was like, just one more turn. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Out the door.
But like, even
It's really
now,
easy to just walk
like,
away from
even this afternoon, I was like, I'm gonna play around. I'm gonna see how far I can go on hard, because it's a really good puzzle game that provides you with like a fresh puzzle every time you play it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like every time it's gonna
It's-
be.
it's a really good game.
It's
Let
gonna
me-
be just as engaging.
FTL
20
and
hours
I
in
hate
as
to
it
be making comparisons. FTL, that game is like a masterpiece. This game, it's pretty good.
This game's good.
This game's solid.
This
It's
game
really good.
Let me tell you something. This game is way better than Pacific Rim.
Okay, there we go.
Accurate.
Oh, Chris,
Very accurate.
Way better than
You got-
We'll have that discussion after the show, my friend. We'll have that
you
discussion.
got Chris Davis to turn around in his chair.
Yeah, I can't offer a valid opinion.
No, but we'll talk about what's wrong with Pacific Rim.
Oh
Dude,
my
like
God.
like in Into the Breach, like when you're about to click the fucking fire button and take damage to a building,
Yeah.
but then you're like,
Wait.
wait,
Yeah.
Oh shit! I see
then
something
I
I can do.
and
And
you
then
do
the
some
whole
like
board,
Rube
like,
Goldberg
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like
It's awesome.
If I knock this guy into this guy and shoot
like
this guy,
you have to in order to be good at the game, you have to like think in a very specific way, and
You
you
have to be-
don't acquire that skill until you spend some time with
you have
it.
to be incredibly intelligent to appreciate.
Like, you have to
this.
understand that sometimes like if your mech isn't able to make it to an enemy to like punch him into the water, and that's what you want to do because otherwise that enemy's going to shoot at a building, like shoot your artillery guy at your mech and move in that extra space.
hit your own guy.
Yeah. And that's what you need to do. You just have to consider that there's way more options
So, Nick, I will say,
than what you originally thought you
earlier
had.
on, I died a lot more than later on, and it wasn't. It's not because, I had better weapons or whatever. It's just my mind started working in the way that kind of. Yeah, you have to realize early on, Nick, I would almost do anything to avoid my mechs taking damage.
Yeah.
But now at the end of battles, most of the times there's very few battles where my mechs aren't almost dead. But it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if they're almost dead. It doesn't matter if they have 5 health or 1 health at the end of the battle. You won the battle. And so it's you have to realize all these puzzle mechanics. How if an enemy is going to hit a building, maybe instead of, killing this enemy over here, I'll just move my mech in front of it to stop that building from taking damage.
Yeah.
And I won't kill a mech that round. I mean, I won't kill a Vec that round, but hey, no building takes damage.
I think it's
Everything's
I
a
think it's really
resource.
interesting, honestly, about this particular developer who's now done 2 games. Both games are beloved, I think, at this point, and they have a very it's weird because you can sit there and you can describe the gameplay to the point where like anyone who hasn't played it can listen to you and like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But you don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't like until you actually get a mouse keyboard in front of you and you start clicking things and making decisions for yourself in the moment. You don't get it.
And it's gonna take a while for you to get to that point. And trust me, you're gonna be having fun the whole time. Like, it's fun to fail.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
You're gonna
But
hate yourself. When
You need
start
to play
playing
this game.
FTL.
And
Great.
one more thing about
You're
the
gonna hate yourself because you're gonna sit there and go like, "Oh my god, this game's been out for what, 4 years?
4
now?
years.
No, FTL, no,
3 years.
longer than that. Yeah, like
6
6
years. Oh my
2012.
God.
Yeah.
This game's been out for 6 years, and you've just been letting it sit this whole goddamn time.
And it's like a
It's
landmark
getting better
game.
with age, damn it.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Okay,
No,
whatever.
I mean, sure.
Dude, one more thing
It's a
about
fine
Into the
fucking
Breach.
Randy Pitchford's played more FTL than you.
I know.
True.
We saw it.
We have proof with our own eyes.
One more thing about Into the Breach. FTL, another comparison, whatever,
Stop it,
has like an amazing soundtrack, right?
I love that soundtrack.
I put that shit up today at the gym, and I was like, dog, I'm in space.
So good.
You know?
You have at the gym,
I'm
dog,
like,
I'm in
fucking
space.
space. And the
So
music
where
that
are
they
you when you
had,
listen to this?
the music that they had in Into the Breach, like on the trailer that they first released, and then the couple tracks that were available for preview on Ben Prunty's website. Like, I was like, it's a little boring.
They're
Yeah.
good.
I'm gonna be honest,
but
it's a
they're
little
not,
boring.
like-
But once I actually started to listening to them in game,
In
they're actually
context?
pretty good. But they're not as good outside of the game.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the soundtrack for Doom.
I did
It's like you're not just gonna sit there and fucking listen to it.
I
all
did
day.
mention that when I bought Into the Breach, I did buy the one that came with the soundtrack just because I have such fond memories of listening to FTL. I have listened to the soundtrack for FTL countless times, even though I've never played it.
It just seems more the soundtrack for FTL is not only good, but it's also like thematically and tonally appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of fits the game really
Good.
well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to playing it. I actually meant to try and play it before this podcast this week. I didn't get as much time to play games this week as I would have liked, but it's on my list. I'm gonna get to it, I swear.
Shut up.
Is there anything else you want to say about Into the Breach?
I can't wait for those sick mods, dude.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it. I haven't unlocked all the mechs yet. I
Dog.
haven't.
There's like secret pilots.
I know there are. I know there's secret
Are there
pilots.
really?
There's plenty of pilots I haven't unlocked yet. There's plenty of like
not
achievements
on the-
I have not gotten, and so I'm going to.
Well, you know one of them is the Mantis, right? 'Cause you can
Yes,
tell from
I
the
know that.
achievement.
What? Shut up.
There's a silhouette of a secret pilot that's clearly the Mantis from FTL.
What?
Yeah.
And there's more, but dude, there's more.
All right.
And there's a secret squad of mechs also.
Man.
Can you
This
skip
game's
the
good.
Kestrel instead of?
That'd be cool. You know, there's going to be a mod out there where they just make a little 3D render of like the Kestrel and like the other ships and
It'd be
stuff
kind
like
of
that.
cool if like instead of like 3 mechs, you just have like 1 starship.
Or just play FTL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll play both at the same
I
time.
can't wait to go home and find out if I do in fact own FTL.
You do. On Steam. Yeah,
I
everyone
don't
got
know
it
how
on
you
Steam
couldn't
too.
at this point.
Well, I've never clicked purchase for
Dude,
one.
someone in chat
I
said
don't
earlier, we're at the point where you go on Reddit and say, yo, someone's got some FTL, you'll get like 100 codes. I probably have like 5 somewhere.
All right. Well, I'll let you know if I have it. If I don't,
You
hit
do.
me up.
100% you do.
All right. You sound pretty confident. 100% is
HMU.
pretty confident.
Yeah, because they did the free FTL on Steam a couple days after the GOG one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, before we take a break, there's probably a few other little games here and there. I mean, unless y'all have just been playing nothing but Into the Breach.
Just into the
I've
breach.
got a quick
Into
mention,
the breach,
but-
baby!
All right. What's your quick mention,
Well,
Crispy?
are we in quick mentions yet?
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple quick
Are you
mentions.
sure?
Yeah.
Is this appropriate?
Yeah.
Should I talk about this?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the thing that you didn't capture footage for?
Right.
Do you think you're gonna play more of it before next week?
Shut up.
Okay, fine.
No, I played a little. I played like an hour of Deep Rock Galactic,
Cool.
which
Thanks for the invite.
yeah. Okay, so I didn't know it was that kind of game until I started playing. I didn't know anything about this. I just remember that it was mining and it was dwarves in space, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, why not?" And
This debuted at E3, didn't it?
Think so.
I think was this.
Wait, was this a Game Awards?
Oh yeah, maybe it was a
Yeah.
Game Awards thing.
I feel like it was more recent than E3.
Quite possible.
I think it was a Game Awards.
But I remember seeing it for the first time and being like, that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of a neat idea, but I didn't research anything about it. I didn't watch any trailers. Just saw that this was a thing that existed, and then like you popped into Discord the other day and was like, "Hey, we got a code for Deep Rock Galactic. It's that space dwarf game." And I was like, "Space dwarves? Thank you." So I
Don't
started
mind
playing
if I
that,
do.
and it's neat. It's really rough because it's like alpha version.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's still in early access. Like right down to the fact like all the character models are still like really polygonal. Like
Yeah.
it's rough.
But isn't that kind of their art style? Like, I feel like that's kind of gonna remain. I feel like that's gonna.
I don't know. I
Yeah, maybe it's like a voxel.
I think they're
maybe.
going for the voxel look. Maybe.
it looks real bare bones. It looks really bare bones. But we'll see. But the whole conceit of it is that you are a space dwarf who works for a company called Deep Rock Galactic, and they're a mining company. They just go places and they mine for specific minerals. Again, I'm only like an hour into this, so I don't know how much this experience opens up. But what I've played so far, I've done a couple rounds where it's basically like they have like a lobby area where you can have 1 to 4 players, and somebody sets a mission, and everyone gets inside this space pod, and then the pod drops down onto a planet, and then you're inside like these subterranean caves, and you're supposed to navigate your way through these caves to find deposits of a specific ore that you're there looking for. You mine that ore, and then once you've collected enough of there's like this robot that follows you that you put all the ore you mine in, and once you filled it up, there's a button on the robot. You hit that button, and it calls down the recall pod. And when the recall pod comes down, it says it gives you 5 minutes. Like the robot automatically goes back to the recall pod, and
Does it
as
totally go back?
huh?
Totally.
Don't derail me. It goes all the way back to the recall pod, and it leaves beacons along the way, and you have to follow it back, and you have 5 minutes to get back, or it takes off without you. Okay,
So the Division.
basically.
I was going to say
Kind of.
that.
Or like or kind of like extractions in Titanfall, you know. So you follow it all the way back, and then you get in the pod, and then that's it. The thing that makes that kind of tricky though is that like these environments are really uneven, really vertical sometimes. Like moving around them can be difficult, and there's also monsters around that will try to attack you from time to time. But other than that, it is go through the caves, find the mineral, hit the button, come back. And it's kind of just that loop that I've seen. I don't really know how much it opens up. The hub area, like the waiting room area, is a spaceship, and there are other like rooms and places on the spaceship that I can't go yet, but I don't know if that's blocked off because of early access or if it's blocked off because of
You haven't earned
I haven't like progressed far enough. So I don't really know what's going on here. It seems like a neat idea, but if it's just that loop over and over again, I really don't know how long I'm gonna stick with it. It is one of those games that is like I'm seeing more frequently referred to as like quote unquote lifestyle games. You know,
Yeah.
something like Destiny or Monster Hunter or something like that, where it's like co-op online games that like you log in, you do some things for the day, and then you like log out. You know,
Yeah.
shit like that. I don't know though. Like if it's just this like little run the maze, find the cheese, get out of the maze thing. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know how much legs.
How meaty is this demo that they sent us?
I mean, it's not a demo. It's
Oh.
the
It's a
game
game.
in its current state,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess yeah.
and that is kind of what it is. If you are listening to me and you've played a lot more, and I'm just like not getting it, please feel free to tweet me or like leave a comment on this episode that we can read next week, because like I kind of want to know like where I'm going with this, because
Yeah.
like when I sat there playing a couple missions and I was like, that was fun. Why would I ever open this again? You know, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
You
But
know,
we'll see.
I'll give you advice that I would say is good advice for early access games. And if you're interested on it, wait.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna burn yourself out on like a vastly inferior version.
Yeah,
Before the
and
full
I
version
learned
comes out.
my
But I guess what I'm getting at is that like it seems like they have a firm idea of what the central core gameplay loop is. And development, I can only see, unless they completely change what the game is, I can only see development adding on top of that and like expanding out from that. Not really like diversifying that core experience that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they can add more character classes. There's 4 character classes right now and they all do different things, but
More environmental hazards.
they can add more environmental hazards, but like, I mean, are
But it's
we
not gonna
literally
affect
just
the
talking
loop.
about different types of caves? Like, you know,
Mhm.
like I don't know, like
The loop needs to show a sign of like evolving and
right, or like yeah, just something that's more than just like this in and out of the cave kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
who knows?
We'll see.
Yeah, if anyone out there has played it, has some insight,
Please help,
let us know.
help me understand. I'm sure it'd be a lot more fun if you had a team together, but
You gotta say the title like Deep Rock Galactic.
Maybe this is a
Rock
co-op
Galactic.
game,
Deep Rock
right?
Galactic.
This is a co-op game, right?
Yeah,
so
4
maybe
players.
maybe
Maybe you need
it is
friends.
a totally different kind of experience.
I'm
if you're playing with
sure
someone
it
else.
is a much more enjoyable experience with a group of friends,
But anything is.
but anything is, yeah.
Well, we all have
I
codes.
don't know that
maybe
that
we should
necessarily
try.
makes the game better.
Maybe we should try a session together and
We
see how it
should.
goes.
We should. I would highly encourage.
Maybe we'll try it before next week. We'll see what happens. I have a couple of just quick things I want to say. I finished Subnautica.
Whoa.
Finished that game, 50 hours.
Your
roughly.
expedition was a success.
I ended up in this situation where I took, because you have to go down to like really deep levels.
Spoilers.
Like, that's well.
The thing
Yes.
is, Nick, I haven't
What?
beaten.
Yes, of course. You have to
I haven't beaten it yet, but I think I'm where you're supposed to be towards the end of the game based on something someone told me. But I don't think I'm supposed to be there yet.
It's possible. You can go anywhere at any.
Yeah,
any
and
time.
so I'm like, well, shit, like, because I was like playing it, and I remember him mentioning something that's a later part of the game, and I'm like, oh fuck, like, am I not even supposed to be here yet? Am I wasting my time? Like,
So I ended up in a lot of really precarious situations.
Yeah.
And I tried to, so you kind of have to go down to this like really really deep place towards the end of the game, and it's very hot.
yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. I took my prawn down there, right?
Did you get stuck?
No, I just got to the point where I realized it's so deep and it's so far down there, and it's so vertical, and there's so many obstacles.
And almost linear to an extent. That
yeah.
path.
Well, yeah, until you get to a very open area.
Yeah.
But like traversing that with the prawn, which is very slow moving, even if you have the grappling hook, it takes forever. It was literally like a 20-minute journey from the surface of the water down to that area going with the prawn because he moves so slow,
Yeah.
and you have to try and scale all these walls and stuff. So I decided, fuck that. I have so much I got to do. I can only carry so much on my prawn. I need to have more storage space down here. I don't have the materials I can use to build a habitat down here. I need to bring the Cyclops down here.
Oh,
So-
so I that where I'm at right now, I'm with my Cyclops.
Good. Because I had that realization after making like 2 or 3 trips back and forth.
Because there's so much to mine down there.
Yes. So I ended up in the situation where like I'm gonna make an expedition to go up there, to go down there with the Cyclops, which is a really precarious journey through this like really tight cavern. And I was like, I don't even know if it's gonna fit,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try.
That's what she said.
I know. Luckily it did, and I made it down there. And let's just say you do some stuff down there, you go into this thing, some stuff happens, and then you end up back on the surface. But my Cyclops was still down in the cave.
That's
And I was like, I put all my shit that I just spent all this time mining on the Cyclops, and it's still down there. So I then had to take the prawn and go on a rescue mission.
I thought you were gonna say you built a second Cyclops.
No, fuck that. No, I went on a rescue mission to rescue my fucking
Why didn't
Cyclops.
you go in like a sea moth?
Because the sea moth can't go that deep.
Oh, you don't have the upgrade for
No,
it?
the deepest the sea moth can go is 900 meters,
Oh,
and I was
really?
at 1800.
Oh wow.
So yeah, the only option was taking the prawn.
Yeah.
And I ended up in like several situations like that. But yeah, I got through all that shit. I made a Google Doc. I planned this fucking expedition where I knew everything I needed to build to get to the end of the game, what I needed to do it, and I had it all listed out, and I did everything boom, 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 boom. and then I built the last thing I needed to build, and I finished the game. It's so satisfying.
Nice.
So good. That game is so fucking good. I'm so glad I played that. I will never play a survival game again. But
That's a lie.
that's probably a lie. But Subnautica I think was really special.
That was your gateway survival game.
No. I enjoyed it to the point where I was like, I'm really glad I played that, but I don't really feel the urge to play another game in this genre anytime
what's
soon.
a good one though?
What?
Don't Starve.
Don't Starve is pretty good.
I had
I
Don't Starve
hate
for a
that
while.
Crispy and I only played it together for like 5 hours.
But that was cool.
I fucking
When we were
loved that
playing, That
session.
was so good.
I fucking loved
We
it.
never got back to it.
I know.
But that
I
was so
wanted
much
to.
fun.
Terraria is pretty good too.
Don't Starve.
Terraria is pretty good.
I had that game on PS4 for a while. I'm not sure what happened to it. I think it was one of the. I think it was a PlayStation Plus game.
I think
at
it
one point,
was,
and I
yeah.
had it. Yeah, maybe. I'm just saying it'll probably be a while before I get the itch to play another survival game. But Subnautica is really fucking cool.
Yep.
I also started playing Red Dead Redemption.
No.
Just again.
What
What do you mean no? What does no mean, Carlos?
When are you gonna play FTL, dog?
After I finish Red Dead Redemption.
Again?
Dude, watching Westworld really makes me want to
Yes,
play Red Dead
am I
Redemption.
right?
Oh my god!
And I decided that
just like go Ed Harris and just start like murdering everybody.
dude.
Why not?
Red Dead Redemption is so fucking good, and I realized I knew I wanted to play it again before Red Dead 2, which is in October, and I figured I should play it now so I don't burn myself out on it by waiting until right before
Sure.
Red Dead 2 comes out. So I'm about like 7 or 8 hours into Red Dead again, and that game is good. I will say this though, and I talked about this a little bit on Twitter. First of all, I think Red Dead Redemption is a fucking like a masterpiece, but that world,
Died.
which is so amazing. That world
Lot
is so
smaller than
amazing.
you remember it being?
Is much smaller than I remember it.
That's not
Yeah.
a bad
I
thing. though.
no, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I think the world is still amazing.
It's fucking toit.
It's just
and
it's tight and it's really well developed.
Yeah.
I just think it's
well scaled for how you move around that world too.
true.
You know? Like,
But I'm just saying,
Where you had to go from one to the map to the other in like 8 minutes or something.
maybe I don't remember. I mean, it's the thing is like you just think about it in terms of like the open world games we had today, things like The Witcher 3, Breath of the Wild, and it's just like it's
Grand
not
Theft
even-
Auto
that
5.
kind of
Not
that
even
kind of
close.
highlights a trend with these open world games where like one of the biggest factors of like improvement or quote unquote quality of these open world games is how big the open world is.
No, I mean that's not
and
necessarily
like I think that's gotten a little out of
out of-
control.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, Nick, have you
completely
gotten to
agree.
Mexico though?
Not
Because
yet.
yeah, when you get to Mexico, that opens up a huge chunk
No,
of the
I know.
game.
Mexico
I-
is
tr-
fucking.
I remember, but you can still kind of get an idea of how big
Also,
Mexico
the
is.
north. You can't even get to the north
I know,
yet. To
but like you
Blackwater.
can, you can look at the whole
Yeah.
world map, and
I
you
know,
can kind of
I
see
know.
how big those
How do they-
regions are.
How do they gate that off? I don't remember.
Blackwater?
Yeah.
Like
You
There's a
literally-
bridge.
yeah,
to
you can't get
Mexico.
across the bridge to Mexico. I can't remember how they get off. Blackwater. You have to go through that town. You have to go through that one gambler's den town.
Oh yeah,
To get
near,
there.
near the swamp or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. All right, it's settled. I'm gonna replay. Red
Me
Dead.
too. God damn it. God damn it.
Red
We
Dead
should all
Redemption.
play online.
Dude, one thing I'm saying right now, and I'm serious, I'm putting this out there. When Red Dead 2 comes out, I already have the day. It comes out on a Friday.
Yep.
So I took the day off already. I'm playing it for 3-day weekend. I want my Sunday that weekend to be digging into the online stuff. So if anybody wants to do some fucking.
Want to get some shark cards or what?
Dude, I
God damn
still
it.
listen to that soundtrack. Like
They're
on
not
a
going to be
weekly
shark
basis.
cards.
Gonna be
They're
gold
going to
Me
be
bands.
too, man.
It's one of
Like,
my work
up top,
playlists.
Chris. Up
Jackalope
top.
cards or something.
Shark card redemption.
Oh man, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah,
is so fucking good.
what's the microtrans
Jackalope?
for
Dude, John Marston is such a good fucking
Yeah,
character.
that game is good. That game is good, dude.
Anyways,
except when I play.
that's the only other. That's the only thing I've been doing. So, I'll mention that during my 4-player minute. You know what's up, Carlos.
I don't.
All right.
Hollow Knight.
Oh, yeah.
I'll mention it later. Anyways, we need to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dig into that Nintendo Direct, and there's a few other news topics. And, of course, we'll answer questions directly from our supporters on Patreon. So if you're watching us live, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this short break.
Bye, Goobers.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We have some news. It's been actually a pretty active news week. So there was a Nintendo Direct today. We're going to do that last. So let's go ahead and jump into a few of the other news topics. There's been some announcements. I'm going to let Chris Davis just kind of pick which one we start with, as we always do, and I'm going to just go from there. He's starting with Blops.
Yeah, get the worst one
Call
first.
of Duty Black Ops 4 was confirmed today. And the news here is not that Call of Duty is coming. We know Call of Duty is coming.
Yep.
It is interesting that it's coming earlier. I think it's October 12th is the release
Battlefield
date.
coming around at the same time?
I bet Battlefield will be in November. I'd be willing to bet money.
Probably
It's usually the
November.
last week of October, actually.
Yeah, but Call of Duty is usually the first 2 weeks of November, so who the hell knows? But the weird... First of all, when did Black Ops become like this weird futuristic thing? I don't fucking know.
Black Ops.
Why is this logo
Or Black Ops 3.
4 bars?
4 bars instead of the fucking Roman numeral 4? I
So
don't
it,
understand.
so it can look like a fucking
Looks
shield.
like a shield.
And also, because when Black Ops 5 comes around, you know how they can advertise it as a diagonal. Black Ops 5. Because you know you're crossing the 4 bars.
oh.
That's so smart. Dude, don't. They're going to steal my idea. No!
It's happening right now. Activision is actively stealing that idea. Anyways,
Yeah.
not much to talk about there. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 has been confirmed, coming in October. Next, we had another announcement today, which made Chris Davis happy, I'm sure. Ubisoft announced The Division 2.
They aren't even done with the first one.
I know I feel kind of bad even talking about this without Chris Davis actually sitting on the couch, but
Don't feel bad.
I will go ahead and let you know that Chris Davis did say he has reached 675 hours in the original Division.
Are you excited, Chris?
After 2 years of play.
2 years of play. Some would call that a problem.
No, it's not comparing.
That's like an average. That's like an average of 2 hours a day every day.
It's a pretty solid average.
Not bad.
I think it's
Close.
I always, because of the way they promoted the Division, the original Division, and talked about it and how it's this like online experience, I kind of figured this would be kind of like a thing where they release it and then they just continue to upgrade that one forever. I didn't expect them to suddenly, like 2 years later, say, "Hey,
I mean, they're just pulling a Destiny.
yeah, they're doing the same thing that they did with Destiny." So not entirely surprising, I suppose, but I'm sure Chris Davis is looking forward to hearing more about that at E3 because I'm sure that's where we're going to hear about it.
Chris Davis, you can't talk on the show while you're not on
Chris
the mic.
Davis, you are a little bit far away from the mic.
I'm doing my best here.
What did you say?
I said I'm cautiously
I can't hear you.
optimistic
One more time.
about this game.
You're an opossum.
Chris
Close
Davis,
enough.
God damn it, Chris Davis is cautiously optimistic about the Division 2. Let's move on.
What does that mean?
What? Cautiously optimistic?
Wait, start this segment over again. I wasn't paying attention.
All right, what's next on the news
What?
topics?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
God damn it, Crispy. What is next? There wasn't a whole. Actually, that might.
State of Decay
State of Decay.
2.
That's right. Fucking State of Decay 2. It's coming to PC and Xbox One as a Play Anywhere title. Did we know that before yesterday?
Yeah,
Steam release when?
May 22nd.
May 22nd.
No on Steam?
I would assume on Steam.
No, because it's a Microsoft title. They're
Same
probably going to
day.
use it on their platform, like
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
like Age of Empires Definitive Edition.
I
Whatever.
thought it
What
was
is that?
coming out
Windows
the same.
Live
I
or
thought.
something.
I'll have to do a little more research.
What do they even call that now?
State of Decay 1 is on Steam.
No one said State of Decay 1 wasn't on Steam, but it didn't
But-
originally come out on Steam.
Yeah.
It was originally
I don't
PS3
know how Play
360.
Anywhere works. Has anybody here done anything in with Play Anywhere?
I can reach out to.
Is that what it's called now?
Yeah, whether you buy it on PC or buy it on Xbox One, if you
Oh.
buy it digitally, you
But
have it on both.
It's through the Windows
Just
Store,
Windows
not through
10
Steam.
store.
If you
Gotcha.
buy the Xbox version, you get the PC version through the Windows Store.
Okay,
Windows 10 store. Oh yeah, you have to get it through the Windows 10 store, not Steam.
gotcha. There was actually a lot of confusion around this when it first announced. Like people were like very excited, like oh shit, May 22nd, and then all of a sudden it became like because in their announcement they said something about early access on May 22nd. And there was a lot of confusion because people were like, wait a second, is this an early access game? But it turns out they were referring to if you
Like if you pre-order.
pre-order it through this Windows Store, I guess you get it on May 18th.
Yeah,
Like, you
a
get
couple
access to it?
days early.
But
4
like
days
their
early.
original announcement did not specify this. They just said early access
You
May
guys
22nd. People were like, huh?
People
What?
need to be
You
more
guys
wary
in Discord specifically
using
were
that
losing
term.
your shit because you saw the words early.
Brad
next to
was
the word
losing his
access.
shit.
A lot of people in chat. I mean,
No!
you read that original announcement. It's confusing. It is not clear. But yeah, it's not early access. They did come back
You can just access it early.
You can access it 4 days early on the 18th.
If it was early access, it would be capitalized.
Yeah.
As in, it's the Steam product early access.
Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention to that.
You fool.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to playing this. It's $29.99, by the way. I think that was also
sounds crazy to me.
I think a lot of people.
The first one was the
$20,
same price, right? Or it was
$20.
$10 cheaper.
Was
So
it?
this is
Shit, I guess so. I guess it's just. I
Is
guess
that
it's
crazy
$10
low to you?
increase.
Yeah, no, it's one of those
Increase.
games where it's like State of Decay to me is worth $60.
You're surprised how much
I mean,
value
yeah.
you get out
Remember,
of it.
it was an XBLA game.
No, I know it was an XBLA game, and looking back, I remember it. But it's just like there's so many games I played since then that I think haven't been worth as much as it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, whatever, $30. Yeah,
Although
it's-
I did look up. I
absolutely
did look up. If you go to if you try and pre-order through Amazon, because I think they're releasing a physical copy, it's $60.
I think they do have like
No,
a.
it's 50.
It was
like
60 when I looked yesterday.
They have like
Special
another
edition for
special edition or something that has whatever maybe
For
they're
60.
yeah I don't
All
know.
I did, I went to Amazon.
Comes
I
with a
typed in
gun?
State of Decay 2. It pulled up the game and it said $59.99.
Maybe it's a placeholder price they use for all games.
That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, point is, it's coming May 22nd. It's $29.99 and it's play anywhere.
I can't wait.
That's pretty cool, and it's 4-player co-op. So
All you need is
I'm just
3
saying
friends.
there will be some 4-player streams of that game for sure on our channel.
The Ultimate Edition is $50, Nick.
Yeah.
The base edition is $30.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I guess it's
The
changed since
Ultimate
yesterday.
Edition will be available May 18th. The Standard Edition May 22nd.
No, but like okay,
There's,
yeah, okay,
there's
whatever.
still a little bit of light left in this world, Nick.
God damn it, changing their shit on me. Anyways, so let's just dive into the Nintendo Direct, shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Okay.
All right, let's pull up that list. So this is today's Nintendo Direct. Oh, there's some stuff to unpack here. Although I'll be honest, not a whole lot of it seems particularly exciting.
Most of it's poo poo.
What about that Solaire amiibo?
Okay. We'll get there. Couple 3DS things. That
WarioWare Gold.
are we just
Yeah,
gonna, do you want me to
WarioWare
go through all of these, or
Oh,
just
WarioWare Gold is something. WarioWare has always been a good game, and this
Yeah.
one has 200 mini games.
Crash
which
Bandicoot.
Shut up, Carlos. Which seems like quite a few games.
yeah,
And like I honestly
micro games? They
yeah,
call
well,
them.
micro games. It's WarioWare. Yeah, they all last like 3, 4. What was it 5 seconds? However long they last.
Yeah.
They're not long. But this is definitely one I'm probably gonna pick up. I haven't been playing my 3DS too much lately, and I love WarioWare. So
Sure, for sure.
Okay, I'm confused. Is that a port of an old WarioWare?
No,
That's
it is
brand
a
new?
brand new WarioWare
Yeah.
game. It has some original games in it.
And some
Right.
classics.
Yeah, some classic stuff. Sorry,
new
that's what I
stuff.
meant. It has some of the classics
News,
in it.
some
It has a
classics.
lot of new stuff in it. Yeah,
Cool. That's fucking good.
Dillian's. Okay, this is
this game
Dillian's
looked fucking weird.
Dead Heat Breakers.
Yeah,
They were talking about this like it was something we should all know. Like they were
Yeah.
talking about characters like, oh yeah, it's old
You know,
Dillian, and
but
it's
it-
like,
Dylan's Deadhead.
but it seems
Dylan's
like
dead.
I don't know. It's weird. I still don't understand what this game is. It's kind of Mario Kart, but it's kind of like Star Fox, but it's kind of like I got some.
Tower defense.
It
Yeah,
did
and there's
drop the
tower
word tower
defense in
defense in
there,
there.
and I have no idea what the fuck this game is.
What?
It's like
Yeah,
Star
go
Fox
watch the
Zero.
video
Go
and
off-
then be just as confused as you are right now.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't know anything that was announced today besides the Soul.
oh, this is news. This is all news to
this
you.
is all news. To me.
Wonderful. Let's keep going.
So-
Mario and Luigi Inside Story is coming to 3DS
2019.
in
Best.
2019. It's also going to include an additional campaign called Bowser Jr.'s Journey. So it's going to be
Best
like,
JRPG ever
Sure.
made.
Bowser Inside Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you
good
being is
game.
that a sincere?
I'm honestly being 100%.
I played a few
sincere.
hours.
I mean, not
of
the
that
best,
for,
but it is a
uh,
really fucking
for
good
the
Yeah,
last
great.
Mario month we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Pretty good.
that is my favorite Mario Luigi game. Although I never finished it.
Then it's not your favorite.
Well, I never finished any of them. So
Obviously, it's not. Your favorite.
Detective Pikachu. First of all, what the fuck is this?
Right? He's not voiced by Danny DeVito. It's fucking pointless.
I don't understand why. Okay,
It is pointless.
I don't understand, guys.
The main character's name is fucking Tim. How
Well,
lame is that?
Is it like Phoenix Wright, but with
kind of.
or like Professor Layton.
Yeah,
with,
kind of, yeah.
but with Pikachu.
Yes,
Wearing
it's a world where Pokemon exist and people and blah blah blah, and Pokemon have become mysteriously sick. They should have fucking had Pokemon murders. Come on,
Pokemon
it's a fucking Detective Pikachu. There should have been a fucking dead Charmander in an alley.
Or kidnapped.
I
guess.
just don't understand where this is coming from, and why does Pikachu sound like a fucking
detective,
like a chain smoker? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Because
Nick.
he's a detective.
Nick, he would have sounded amazing as Danny DeVito.
Okay. I think the
Are
biggest.
you referencing something that I'm not aware of?
The internet wanted him to be Danny DeVito.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Wait,
I don't know anything. I don't know what's.
That's okay.
What is a video game?
Wait, what is isn't Ryan Reynolds playing?
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
What
of.
is
There's like
that?
a Detective Pikachu movie
Yeah.
where Ryan Reynolds is gonna voice Pikachu.
I wasn't aware
That's
of
a
that.
joke, right?
I wasn't aware of
No,
this.
I think that's a real thing.
It's Deadpool marketing.
Yeah.
Is it?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more
No,
Deadpool
there's no
marketing.
way.
Yeah.
That can't be. Pokemon is such a
Pokemon.
expensive property. There's no way that they could even afford to license it just to make a shitty trailer, right? I mean, you're talking about Fox and Marvel and Disney. Why wouldn't they just use something that they already own, for fuck's sake?
I don't know. Anyway, move on.
All right. Let's. Honestly, for me, the biggest thing to come out of this 3DS lineup was
that's another one I'm going to pick up.
Luigi's Mansion. The original Luigi's Mansion is coming to 3DS in 2018. That's exciting. I loved Dark Moon.
Yeah.
I loved it. That
was
game
good.
was my top 10 games of that year. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
But I've never played the original Luigi's Mansion.
Hey, now you can.
And I don't have a GameCube anymore, so this is going to be my first time playing it. So I'm very excited. They quickly switched gears and went to Switch. So I went
And
into
then,
this.
Nick, get ready to bring on the mediocre.
Okay, so I was expecting. People were kind of hyping this Nintendo Direct up like some big shit was going to drop.
Nintendo was
Hype
hyping
every
this Nintendo
Nintendo
Direct.
No, there were some people in the industry who were like, "There's some big stuff coming today." Like people often have insider information, right?
Because they knew that Solaire amiibo was coming out.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some stuff. This is a long list actually, but a lot of ports. Let's just get started.
a lot of ports.
Kirby Star Allies is getting a free character update starting March 28th. That game comes out on the 16th, I believe, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And they announced a bunch of crossover characters that are going to be in the game. Whatever. Kirby Star Allies. Then Okami HD. And for a split second, I was like, fuck, why did I buy the PS4 version? And then I realized this is coming to the eShop. And,
Yep.
I'd rather have it on a disc. So, Okami HD. If you haven't played that, you can now play it on PS4 and the Switch.
And PS3.
So many options.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, what'd you say?
HD release wasn't
HD release on PS3.
Oh, on PS. Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyways,
Come on, Nick.
Sushi Striker,
That game looked like Boo Boo.
The Way of Sushido.
Sushido.
Yeah.
Is it like Fruit Ninja but with sushi?
But worse.
You have to.
It's like
you
the
have to-
future and like sushi's
there's these
outlawed
evil,
or
like-
something. Like it's really.
You have to
I
eat all
think
the sushi.
we all know why.
Now here's the thing: you have to eat all the sushi that's on a conveyor belt,
Yeah.
and then you stack your empty plates. And when she gets high enough, then you can throw the empty plates at like the evil chef
To
I
kill
get-
him.
to kill him.
To get him back in the kitchen to make more sushi?
It
Why-
looks-
Why would I want to kill the chef if I like
Wait,
sushi?
so are you the criminal for eating sushi because sushi's illegal?
crispy. It looks dumb.
It does look dumb, but I would be lying if I didn't say that it made me want to eat
Anti-sushi
sushi.
legislation. Disestablishmentarianism.
I like sushi.
Let's go get some HEB sushi, dude.
All right, moving on.
Get some
Octopath
Octopath Traveler. This
July
for me was the
13th.
biggest news
Yeah.
Damn.
to come out of this.
So that is officially its name.
This is no longer Project Octopath Traveler. It is just Octopath Traveler. Coming to us on July 13th.
The reason I want to buy a Switch.
Yes. The reason
You don't want it
Crispy
for
wants to buy a
that?
Switch.
Huh?
You don't want it
Chris
for
Davis,
that
can you
into the
can you make
breach.
two windows
two.
instead of one?
For what? Oh,
I don't care what we look like. Yeah, thank you.
Into the breach.
Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes.
Yeah.
They showed some gameplay of that. Looked kind of weird. Not exactly what I was expecting from the sequel to No More Heroes, if that is indeed what
It
this
kind
technically
of
is.
reminded me of
Fury.
shit, what is
Wait,
it?
is that what
Fury.
you-
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was
It's
gonna
a
say.
new.
It made me think of Fury.
Yeah, it looks more like top down kind of
Mhm.
instead of like third person character
Crispy,
action game.
You know what Fury looks like?
The
Kinda
Boss
looks like
Rush
that.
game.
Oh, was Fury
the really
like,
pink game.
The one that Chai never died in.
Boss Rush.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, Fury, the one that we saw at the mix a couple years
Yeah,
ago.
the E3 mix.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carpenter
Kinda looks like
Mix
that.
soundtrack.
It looks a lot like that. Like it's top down. A lot of. I don't know. It's hard to describe. It does not look necessarily like No More Heroes,
Right.
but
It's not like third person. Action.
yeah, it's not like the camera's directly behind the character as he moves. But they did show. They did confirm that. So it's like you're in a video game. That's
Yep.
kind of
That's cool.
yeah. And you're going to several different video games in this game.
There's 7 games in
Yeah,
that game.
and at the end of each game, they confirm you do fight a boss, which I presume is going to be more like a traditional No More Heroes
Does
type
Travis
thing.
still have his lightsaber?
I think so.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, no, he definitely does.
It definitely looks like it has
a
the same
beam
quirkiness.
katana.
Yes, it's Beam
Katana,
Katana. I will
excuse
say
me.
that the at least art that they showed of those bosses did look pretty cool.
Yeah, they look really cool. I'm cautiously optimistic about it though. I don't know.
We'll see.
At first, No More Heroes was like brutally challenging to the point where sometimes it made me want to put it down. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Dark Souls Remastered. The big thing there is, I mean, we already knew it was coming May 25th, but they debuted a Solaire of Astora amiibo.
Damn! Fucking praise the sun,
Praise-
motherfuckers! Praise the sun!
Praise the sun.
Praise the sun!
The Son of the Lamp.
Praise the sun! I wish I could be so grossly incandescent. Mario Tennis Aces,
All right.
June 22nd.
This was one of their big announcements.
Yeah,
Their-
this
Oh,
was
is
like
that the banner going on here?
yeah.
yeah. That was like the thing they talked about the most during the
No.
Nintendo Direct. And you know what I took from
I
that?
can't see myself.
You know what I took from that?
What?
It looks fun, but I'll never play it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It looks like it
The
has
thing
a lot
is,
of
they
solid
spent
mechanics.
about 10 minutes talking about each of the different types of ways you could hit the tennis ball.
Yeah,
And then they were like, also, you can play it in a really simple mode, too.
yeah.
Oh.
They said you can play the vanilla mode, which is
Yeah.
like no special hits.
Oh, but they have like a special one that like lets you do some like top spin or
You know, a
something.
bunch
Yeah.
of crazy moves, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. It looks fun. If
Be like the bomb.
you know what else looked fun that I was like I want to play that and never played it was Mario Strikers Charge. Is that what it
Yeah,
was? The
the
soccer
soccer.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. My roommate was fucking addicted to the
Chris?
no, Chad.
Oh, Chad.
Yeah, he was like super crazy addicted to that game in college.
Chad.
Game looked like
Classic
fun
Chad.
as hell. I never touched it.
They actually like to pronounce it Thad.
That.
Anyway, moving on. Captain Toad. No one gives a fuck.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker does not
A
look particularly
re-release.
fun.
Looks like Poo Poo
maybe-
Butt.
Wait, is that a re-release?
Is it a unique one? Is it new? This was on the Wii U, right?
Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker was the name of the first one.
Yeah, they're just putting it on the Switch.
Oh, then yeah, it's coming to Switch.
And it was butt.
What's Underdale?
A typo.
Undertale is coming.
That was really
Coming to
fun.
Switch. Yet
Undertale's
another.
a pretty good game.
It is a pretty good game. It's coming to yet another platform. You pick it up. The theme here, a lot of ports.
Yeah, Crash
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
That's kinda
Insane
weird, right?
Trilogy.
Little Nightmares.
Yeah, whatever. Little Nightmares. South Park: The Fractured. This was the best part about this was the fact that on a Nintendo stream, the announcer said butthole.
But he refused to say it like they clearly want you to. Like, fractured butthole.
Butthole.
Yeah, he was very specific to
he did put a
emphasize
spa. He did a little pause.
the fractured butthole.
But who?
Yeah.
But who?
Anyway,
Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors Deluxe. Who cares? Arms Tournament. Meh. Splatoon 2.
Wait.
Uh,
Arms Tournament is an event or a
Yeah, they're doing
Yeah,
like an
an
event for Arms. Yeah.
Splatoon 2
Dude,
version
also-
3.0.
Okay, Splatoon 2. Nothing against Splatoon 2. I bet that game's fun as hell. I cannot believe they're
Something
spending
against
this much
Splatoon 2.
time talking about Splatoon 2.
They did spend a long
They
time
dedicated
on
the
it.
very the final like thing they talked about in this direct was Splatoon 2 version 3.0, which is coming, and they announced a bunch of new gear, some new stages, and then they showed this like obnoxiously long video for
It
the
was
DLC.
pretty bad.
Like it was like 5 minutes.
They started talking about Splatoon lore.
yeah,
I was like, fuck off.
and it was just like a 5 minute long video of watching this like octopus girl like walk around.
Yeah.
You know the two
Octoling?
squid ladies are Kyla and Marie? Calamari.
Oh, shit!
Now that's the
My
lore.
appreciation for Splatoon has deepened so much.
And then they... And then
Oh,
they
wow!
Did they ink all over each other?
And
I
then,
can't
of course, the big one. And I actually made
Yeah.
a separate overlay for this.
Okay,
I don't know if we
so-
need to, but
What's the deal here?
they closed.
They closed with two octolings squirting all over each other. and then it gets dark. And then it zooms in on one of their faces. And there's a bright light. And then the reflection of her eye, you see the Smash Brothers logo.
And then they say it's Super Smash Brothers 2018. The question is this an original Smash Brothers?
I don't think
or is this just
it's
the
original.
last one ported
It's
out?
going to be original. And I'm
Do you know
fairly
this?
certain. I'm fairly certain. They zoomed in. They showed a bunch of characters in the background.
They showed New Link.
They showed New Link, and they showed Mario Odyssey Mario. And the fact that the Octolings are going to be there. I'm fairly certain this is going to be a new Smash
Why
Brothers.
does the Smash Brothers logo look like a 4?
Dude, when I first saw it, for a
the
split
way
second,
it's split, yeah.
for a split second, I was, because first of all, I agree with Carlos, it looked like a 4. For a
Because the
split
last
second,
game was the 4th game, right?
in my head, in my mind,
that symbol
I was
always
thinking
does.
Metroid Prime 4. And then I was so confused. Like, why is Splatoon people here announcing Metroid Prime 4? What is going on? I was like,
Holy
oh,
shit.
fuck, that's...
Wait a minute. Does that mean that we're not... Oh, wait. That's this year?
Yeah,
It is this year.
yeah.
Super Smash
Probably
Bros.
like
we're
November.
not... Oh, that's going to suck, though, because then, like... When is Metroid Prime...
Not this year.
Even
So
announced,
the
like,
Samus that is inevitably going to be in is not going to be the new Metroid Prime.
Okay, first of all,
Samus.
that's not necessarily true, because they could announce or like unveil Metroid Prime 4 at E3 and say it's coming next year, but you're going to be able to see Samus.
Snake's coming back.
Oh my god, I loved Snake in Smash. I loved him. He was so fucking OP. Yeah.
Any wish list here for characters in?
Oh, who's
The
been
mechs
new?
from Into the Breach.
No, that's not how Super Smash works.
Damn. I hope they
Carlos.
have like 1,000 Inklings.
Ooh, a Snipper Clips character.
There we go.
We got
That'd be
both of them
interesting.
together, like
and
the
they
new
could, like,
ice
snip.
climbers.
Yeah,
that'd be
good.
Now we're
cool.
talking.
What about the dudes from 1-2 Switch?
You know they're gonna have arms,
And it's like a real person.
How
They're
about some people from
hanging out.
Octopath
they're gonna have
Traveler?
like arms characters probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be annoying.
Yeah. Who else?
An Octopath Traveler?
What? Who else? Who could they have from Breath of the Wild?
The fish.
Maybe
Link.
maybe they could do one of the
One of
champions.
the champions?
Yeah. I don't know which one they would choose.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or
What
new
about
Zelda?
Yeah, new Zelda would be
Yeah.
great. Like I said, I think the version of Zelda in Breath of the Wild is like my favorite version of Zelda in the series. I would love to see her in
Pauline
Smash.
from Odyssey.
Eh,
Mayor Pauline.
yeah.
Bayonetta?
She's already in
I mean, Bayonetta's in Smash already.
Wait, was she? Wait,
Oh, that's right.
which
She's
one
not
was
a
she
new
in?
character.
Was
She's
she in the one for the Wii?
Yeah,
Oh.
for the Wii U.
Someone in Ultima Inferno in chat says maybe a Xenoblade 2 character.
Yeah.
Possible.
I mean,
Anything's,
yeah,
anything's possible.
Yeah.
Shovel
Shulk
Knight.
is
Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight.
Shovel
Knight.
Well, Shovel Knight's in every game ever made, so
That feels like, yeah.
that's
What,
gotta
what
happen.
about Yooka-Laylee?
Ukulele? I hope not.
Did you call it Yooka-Laylee?
Yeah.
Yoko.
Maybe. I don't know. The thing is, I think
Oh,
the Doom Marine?
the Doom Marine, or now they have anything from Skyrim.
I think they want to.
Skyrim's
I think
on
they
the
want to
Switch.
stick mostly with expressly Nintendo
Oh, yeah,
characters. I think
probably.
Solid Snake was a bit of a
I don't know.
a great character, but a bit of a
Bethesda
stretch.
might be just throwing a shit ton of money at them, though.
They could.
I mean, because honestly, there's so many games being ported to Switch now that almost anything would be fair game if those are the criteria.
But that's not how Smash works.
Yeah,
Smash,
it's a celebration historically of Nintendo. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Solaire.
Weird way to get stand up butters.
I don't think Solaire's going to be in there.
God, do something with that amiibo.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
true.
maybe we'll get like
They didn't
Wonder
announce-
Red this time?
Oh yeah, Wonderful 101.
Maybe?
I don't.
Probably
Here's
not.
hoping.
But that would be so cool.
Zero from Mega Man.
Todd
Anyway,
Howard as a character.
moving on.
Dude.
We'll find out.
Skyrim.
No, he would
know-
just come out and be like, "It just works,"
This-
and then it would like glitch.
Post
This
Crash
Todd
report,
Howard
crash
on Facebook meme. It's the
this
best meme.
so one thing this Nintendo Direct did answer the question of how do they continue being competitive in 2018 now that Zelda and Mario are both out.
Oh,
they
the
had to
answer
have
is
something.
ports.
You go to hell and you die, Clef 5. That
Wait.
is the worst thing anyone's ever typed in this chat.
Also, it's not a franchise.
Yeah, it's only one game.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
Yeah, what like Sans is gonna show up?
2018,
Oh,
guys,
no.
is apparent. So I was really looking forward to 2018 because I was like, "What is Nintendo gonna do?" And I feel like we know the answer now is Smash. That's their holiday. That is their holiday game. That is their Zelda of this year. And while that is exciting, I feel like it's a little underwhelming. I don't know. Maybe that's just me because I'm not a huge fighting game fan, and I'll maybe play this game a couple times and then never pick it up again. Who the hell knows? But yeah, Super Smash coming. What is certainly going to be holiday 2018.
Yep.
All right.
Unless it's not.
Unless it's not. That's it for the news. Nolan, you ready to hit us up with some sweet questions? I know we got quite a few questions this week.
I'm laughing right now because I know what that picture is, and it's just funny as
What
hell.
is it?
It's Todd Howard meme on Todd Howard on Facebook.
Oh, probably.
Oh, Santa
So we got one new patron this week.
Hell yes.
Shadow Step.
Oh, I think he's in chat too. Oh my god, that is the greatest meme right there. Todd Howard, 1 like and I'll release Skyrim for Android, and he liked by Todd Howard. Say no more. So fucking good.
All right, so thanks to our new patron. Now let's get some questions.
That
from
person
our
is in chat
patrons.
too, I believe.
Shadow Step.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw him earlier. So first question this week from Nexus. Hey guys and Butters, what is a game you've played that you had very little patience for? It could be due to unskippable cutscenes, the gameplay mechanics, or anything else that rubbed you the wrong way. Oh, there's a lot of things. I can't remember which game it was. I think it was an Assassin's Creed game that when you pressed pause, it literally took like 2.5 seconds for the pause screen to come up.
Yeah,
I just don't have time for this.
Dude, it infuriated
it was like
me.
Unity.
I think it was something like that, but it's like, and people are like, it's only 2 seconds. But when you have to look at the map on the fucking pause screen,
life. It's my life. I'm gonna die sooner because of this game.
It's not that I'm gonna die sooner. It's just gonna take me an extra fucking 40 minutes
Wasting
of
my
gameplay
life waiting
just
for
waiting
menus
for it to pause. There was something silly.
This is not okay. This is not really a fair answer, but I played it. So we got some codes for that game that's being developed on Kickstarter. I hope this doesn't sound like I'm being an asshole. What is it? The Beast Inside. We got some codes for that. And I booted it up last night. Albeit I was like getting kind of sleepy, right? And I had just finished that boss in Hollow Knight, and I felt accomplished. And I was like, I'll try this. And I booted it up, and I got through the opening cutscene, and I was like, I don't have time for this. I turned it off. I feel so bad. It is not necessarily commentary on the quality of the game. I didn't really give it a chance. But I did not feel like I had the patience for that last night.
You know what game I had no patience for? Okami.
Really?
I got Okami HD because Brad was like hyping it up, like, oh my god, Okami is so good, you have to play it. It's like Zelda, but better. And I was like, yo, that sounds dope. So I bought it and downloaded it, and there's so much fucking reading.
There's a lot of reading.
And Brad was like, yeah, it's gonna be like that for a couple hours.
Okay, first
like,
of all,
done.
That game is. When I first played Okami, I thought that game was gonna be like a 10-hour experience. I spent 45 hours playing that game. That game is not short by any means.
And there is
a lot of reading. So yeah. I don't blame you. It's still a great game, but yeah.
So I will say, a couple of things for me. Unskippable cutscenes. It's fucking ridiculous. And then, Chris Davis actually just mentioned something too, that any dialogue where there's text, the inability to skip just the text you're currently reading. Yeah. And like, you have 3 options in games. Can't skip it all. You can skip the text box you're on and move to the next one, or skip everything. And that latter can be frustrating too, because especially when it's certain games where it's like, I read faster than like the text comes up, and sometimes if there's no voice acting, who cares? I'll just read it in my head, click next, read it in my head, click next, read it in my head. And when you have to wait for that, I was like, oh my fucking god, It's like, ugh. And that's one of the things I've actually always really like. Persona 5, I think, does it masterfully. You can skip any cutscene, you can skip any line of dialogue, but if you accidentally miss something, you can pause it up and go through the entire previous chunk of dialogue you've been through. And if it's voiced, you can even go back and replay that voice.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could do that. I never tried it.
Fucking Persona 5 nailed it when it comes to... We kind of touched hands a little bit there. When it comes to how cutscenes work and text and stuff like that. But yeah, that is a big frustration for me.
Cool. Next question.
Alrighty, next question from Sir Thomas Fipple.
Oh, wait, what was it? Sir
Thomas Fipple.
Yeah, I don't understand. I
didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Is that like a different language?
No, he's being a doof. Thomas Thipple. Nostalgia is a powerful thing.
Thipple.
It can be painful to remove those rose-tinted glasses and look at something objectively.
Thipple.
What's a movie and or game you used to love, but now doesn't hold up without the emotional crutch of nostalgia? Personally, I used to love Donnie Darko. I don't hate it now, but I'm certainly far less invested in it than I used to be. It's too caught up with trying to be profound and too deep for you, instead of just being a good movie. I'm from, oh my god, Murfreesboro, Tennessee?
Oh, is he actually telling us where he's from?
Yeah.
Cool, Tennessee.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Howdy, partners. Yeah.
I think the important question there is, which version of Donnie Darko are you talking about? First of all. Second of all,
S. Darko.
S-Star is clearly the superior movie.
Wait, there's a second one?
Yeah,
There's
it was
a
a straight to
sequel.
DVD sequel about his sister.
Was it actually
Grown
played by
up.
Maggie Gyllenhaal?
No.
Of course
It's
not.
the younger sister.
It's the
Oh.
the one that's like a baby in the,
I forgot that baby even was a
like
thing.
grown up into like a young adult.
Samantha Darko.
That movie's not good, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's see, things that
Can't be
did
much
not
better than the original.
hold up after
You know, I don't know if this...
nostalgia.
Well, I mean, recently with the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, for all of you that played it back in the day, how do you feel playing this remaster?
I loved it.
I've
only
played half of it, but I loved it.
I'm
what I've
never
played
wrong
so far.
about any opinion I've ever had.
I,
I don't change my mind. No,
I feel inclined to say GoldenEye, the movie. I don't know. Maybe
For
to be
me-
fair though, I haven't watched that one.
For me, watching any
Super
old
recent.
I can
James
see
Bond
that.
movie,
I can see that.
watching any old James Bond movie, I'm like, he's just so goddamn rapey.
He's yeah.
And it's just in this day and age, the older I've gotten. When I was younger, I used to think that was like, cool. Oh yeah, you just grab a woman and kiss her.
That's what they want.
Yeah, but then now that I watch it, I'm like, oh, stop, bruh, no.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like,
And the I don't know, the new Bond is just such a different thing.
he's a little.
No, I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
rapey thing. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, as far as the movies go, like,
Yeah.
the characterization is, like, so dramatically different.
Yeah.
And I prefer it. It is kind of hard to go back and watch. But I still love those movies, just in a very different way. I don't
you know what movie I rewatched that I like last year that I found incredibly boring? Pineapple Express.
Interesting.
Like I rewatched it and I was like, dude, this movie's dragging on forever.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Oh,
I do remember liking it, but for me, honestly, and it's
bless you.
it's a, I don't know what's the best way to word it.
Mindset.
Looking back on myself, I don't know why I felt
what kind
the
of
way
person
I did,
you were
right?
10 years ago.
But I used to really like.
Uh-oh.
I don't even want to say it.
Hey, I'll say an embarrassing one if you say an embarrassing
Master of Disguise.
Oh,
one. Wait, which one is that?
that was a
The one where he's a
mistake waiting to
turtle?
happen, though.
Dana
Dana
Carvey.
is like a comedian where he like the whole movie is just
Him
dressing
disguised.
up in
It's
different
essentially
characters.
Dana Carvey doing a bunch of impersonations, and that's all it is.
but like not of real people. Just,
Yeah.
like, characters he made.
And it has like 20 minutes of additional scene during the credits.
Oh
too.
my god, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Like but like when it first came out, like I liked it.
Yeah.
Hey, I recently watched Bad Boys 2. That movie is not good. But I remember when I was younger, that movie came out in theaters. I saw it in theaters 5 times.
You know,
I don't get it.
Mr. Green Toast, I own it too. I think I still own. I think I have a DVD.
That's a reminder of your
Oh,
shame.
you know what? Okay, I'll give you this one. I used to think that Ghostbusters 1 and 2 were like equally amazing.
Oh wow.
I do not think that anymore.
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters 2 is a fine movie and I will watch it any day of the week, anytime it's on, but it is a country mile away from fucking the original Ghostbusters.
You know what movie I thought was amazing when it came out? And now I think back and I'm like, why? Crash.
Crash.
Yeah.
Dude, Crash is like
You're like,
like a fucking stupid movie.
It's dumb.
Like it is a fucking stupid movie looking back on it. And it was one of the because they were like talking about race and stuff. It was like, whoa, this is real edgy and
Won
must
Best
be important.
Picture, too.
And it won Best Picture. And like looking back on it, it's like, oh
I'm
wow,
like,
this is
why?
actually
This is so
this
stupid.
I
is
thought I remember-
really
I remember
bad at
liking that
talking
movie.
about.
I mean, I haven't watched it.
It
since
is fucking terrible about talking about what it's talking about.
I listened to a podcast the other day where they just talk about movies that once you watch them the first time, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then you either forget about them or realize they're awful.
Hold on, there's a couple of things going on in chat right now. First of all, Gamer Beck Mystery Men is a fantastic movie.
It's pretty good.
That is a fantastic movie.
You know Doug Jones is in that movie?
Who is he?
He's one of the heroes.
One of the ones that comes
he's
up.
like Eraserhead or like Pencilman or something
nice.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, I think I did know that. Secondly, Alyssa, we're not talking about good movies. You can't just be like, oh, I like the original Trimmers. Well, that's because it's a fantastic movie.
We're talking
It's
specifically
got that
about
delicious
movies.
taste of bacon.
Yeah.
We're talking about that. We're talking specifically about movies that we liked when we were younger, and
now
we
realize that they're
we
bad.
now
Not
realize they are
like
not as good as we
as
remember.
much, no.
I will say, when Lady in the Water first came out, for some reason I liked it. It's been
I
a
did
while
not.
since I've seen it, but looking back on some of the stuff that happened,
I have
in the
never
movie,
seen it again, and I remember liking it. I'm not gonna ruin
Not
that for
gonna fuck
myself.
that.
I just like the fucking one guy who just worked out the one arm.
Yeah.
And so he had this tiny arm, and he has this fucking huge arm because he's constantly doing curls with one arm the whole fucking time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one of the few things I remember about
We could
that.
probably
Anyway.
keep going on this for a while.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
should
let's move on. We got more
Yeah,
questions.
most Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Did not hold up.
Dishwasher. Hey guys, I'm starting a garden this year.
Oh.
My wife is
My wife.
skeptical.
My wife.
What is skeptical? Oh, Jesus
Skeptical.
Christ!
Skeptical.
I can't fucking read. My wife is
Skeptical?
skeptical.
What is
Oh my
Skeptical.
god,
My
is
wife
she
is
okay?
skeptical
I thought he
to
was
the
saying
idea.
his wife is has celiac disease or something, and I'm like, what is going on? Sorry.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
Wish that on her.
My wife,
Septicemia.
please, she's very sick.
my wife is skeptical of my green thumb, but it's a hobby.
I'm glad she's not. I am so glad that she's not.
All right. Anyway,
My wife is so sick.
stop. Let me read it.
My wife is a receptacle. I'm sorry.
There's the title of the show right there.
The Skeptic Show.
Oh, anyway,
My wife.
my wife.
You must help.
All right. My wife is skeptical of my green thumb, but it's a hobby I'd really like to get into. What are some of your hobbies you guys enjoy outside of video games and movies? Or what hobby first pops into mind that you would like to pursue? Seems like this might be a question in the past, so apologies. Thanks for the great show. Dishwasher from Oklahoma.
Oh man. Thank you
Great
guys for
question.
telling us where you're from all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like
no, you
mul-
asked them to.
I know, but
Yeah.
it took like 2 or 3 weeks and people finally started to do it. Anyways, sorry, Crispy, go ahead. You had an answer.
I have so many hobbies outside of video games and movies, and it's why I don't play as many games as I should. My big focus when it's not video games and movies, tabletop RPG, specifically Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd.
It is consuming my life. I've been working on my own campaign setting. I recently drew up my map, and I've been writing a bunch of lore and shit. I've got like 9 pages of Google Docs just of notes and ideas that I've come up with. So like, that's kind of like my thing that I'm spending a lot of time on now. I also really like. I got into building Gunpla models,
Nice.
Gundam plastic models. That's just really fun and relaxing. Yeah.
You have to use glue and shit in those?
No,
No, you don't have
those
to. They
usually
pop
snap
together,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't typically glue them, actually.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, those are probably the big current ones. I've kind of faded in and out of a couple over the years. Comic books have always been a big one for me, but I don't read as much as I used to, actually. When I stopped buying individual comics, I'm kind of just down to the occasional trade paperback every now and then.
Cool.
Yeah.
I would like to throw out. I enjoy cooking.
That's not a hobby. You got to
Yeah,
do
it
that to
is.
live.
No, you can just order it or takeout.
You
It's
can
a
eat
joke.
shit.
Like
I
collecting
know, Nick,
recipes
it's a joke.
and
It's
cooking.
a
I know.
joke.
I like collecting recipes and cooking, even though I may not be great at it. I also
He's not.
I'm into fuck off. I'm into web development, but because I do that as a job. But I'm also in my free time trying to learn some new
Freshen up that CSS.
JavaScript,
Okay.
PHP, all
The
that
dankest
stuff. Trying to
moves.
learn
Fucking dank.
some new skills there. So yeah,
What are
I
your
enjoy
opinions
doing
on
that stuff.
Vue?
I don't know.
The View
Vue.js?
with Whoopi Goldberg.
I'm not.
And
not
Sharon
familiar.
It's really not that into web development.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like a music, I guess. I mean, that's I like going to shows. I don't know if that's a
What,
hobby.
you listen to music with your ears?
All the time.
That's so
All
stupid.
the fucking
That's not a
time.
hobby. That's literally just sitting in a room where there's music playing. I'm sorry. What's that? Same thing with movies.
I hate all of you.
I like making memes and paint and going to the gym. That's it.
Making memes.
Fucking getting swole.
Paint.
Getting memed.
Yeah, I have too many hobbies that I try to do. I mean, I've been trying to get more into woodworking, but that
That's
takes
cool.
up a lot of fucking time.
See, that's a real fucking hobby. like we're talking about like reading comic books and listening to music, and you're like, I make things with my hands. I create.
Also, I try to do too much around the house, and I don't. Bernadette might be listening. I'm probably about to spend a bunch of money because I've decided I'm not going to do a bunch of stuff around the house, and I'm just going to pay someone to do it.
There we go.
Because I don't
Just gonna
fucking have
get a
time.
robot.
My favorite hobby is paying other people to do things that I could do for
Dude,
myself.
he does it so often.
Because there's I want to
You
put
can't
some
wait to
I want to
hire
put some new lights in our backyard. Our backyard's very dark. I want to put some new lights up, but that would mean I need to run some electrical wire through my attic, through the crawl space over here. And I also want to mount my projector on the ceiling, and that's easy to mount it. That's easy. I can get up in the attic and mount it, no problem. But running the HDMI and the audio cables from it over down an exterior wall of my house is kind of complicated. And I just don't want to fuck it up and or spend like 40 hours trying to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. That sounds awful.
So I'm probably going to pay someone to come out and just run some wire and stuff. Just because it's easier.
I like to ride my bike.
Homeowner.
I guess so, yeah.
Carlos
And also,
enjoys riding his bike.
Butters is now
Butters.
a big fucking time sink. This fucking guy.
Buddies.
Wait, why did Chai Tai just say, did Nick just low-key say he hires ladies of the night? What did I say?
Any problem?
You did say you like to...
hire people for anything.
You said you like to hire people to touch your penis, is
Yeah.
what I heard.
That is not at all what I said.
I
I
did
think-
hear.
I
I
think
heard
we
something
can
about male hookers.
Play back
somewhere
the
in
tape.
there.
I heard someone doing wet work.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Wait, what?
I said
What word?
no.
Like an assassin?
No, it's like when they pee on you.
That's water.
That's
sports.
water
That's not-
sports.
that's not
Water
wet
sports?
Wet work is like
Work.
killing
Wet work
someone.
is killing
I
someone.
was making a fucking joke in
It worked in two ways.
Well, I hope you learned your lesson.
In what is that? The Boss movie with Charlie Day and
Horrible Bosses.
Bosses.
Yeah.
Boss
Charlie
Baby.
Day hires someone that does wet work, and he shows up and he like is gonna pee on them. He hires someone off Craigslist.
Because
Anyway,
he thought they were talking about an assassin.
Yes.
Because that terminology is usually applied to
yes.
assassination.
Green goddamn.
That was
guy.
that guy's
Anyway, moving on.
Wait, Chris, what do you got? Any? What do you got? Just say them, and I'll.
Chris's
repeat them
hobbies
for
are
you.
The Division. All right, moving on.
Video editing.
Video editing, yes.
He
That's-
loves to edit video.
I do, actually.
Yes.
And I like to overplan things.
And you overplan things.
Wait,
I'm very good at
overplan things?
You overplan things, really?
Like I spend 4 months researching TVs in order to buy one, or
That's not a hobby.
I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
I do
what?
the
If
same.
that's a
You-
hobby,
you
I'll
are-
go ahead and say I think Google Docs are a hobby of mine.
You
Alright.
your consumer acumen is a point of pride for you. You would say.
Sure.
Moving on, next question
You
from
would
Mr.
kill on
Green
The Price is
Toast. Would you rather get $5 every time you took a poop,
Yeah.
or would you rather never have to poop again for the rest of your life?
Yes, those are both great. Oh wow!
I
That's
poop twice
toughie.
a day.
I think I would I think
Okay, just try to figure out what the $5 poops would do to supplement your monthly income.
How many
Okay.
poops
What
could
if
I
what
get
if
in
I
a
what if I
day?
like squeeze
Like, how
out
many
half
times
a
do you
turd
poop
and
just a
then
week?
clench
Yeah.
and then wait an hour and then poop again? Is
Yeah,
that
could you-
$10?
It doesn't say it's not based on
Amount.
based on size of poop or amount
Just
of
number.
poop. It's pooping.
Yeah.
Dog. It's
How
gonna,
many? How
it's
many
gonna
do
be
you
like
think
a
I could
machine,
get in
dude.
a
Like
day?
You're gonna
Every 2
you're gonna
weeks, that's a video game.
fucking slicing that turd.
he's gonna
up,
be
dog.
working out that turd cutter.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be like a rabbit poop. Just a little pellet.
that was just that was disturbing, Carlos.
So I mean, let's
But what
say,
happens if you have diarrhea? You're like, no, my money, and it's just all coming out.
so
Clench, flush.
I don't think that's a thing.
you can't clinch when you.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to clinch with diarrhea? I don't think that's a
Where
thing.
It's
Where
not
does it go?
clinchable.
Where does it go?
Why do we always end up having poop conversations?
Because we get asked about poop. The clear answer is never poop again.
I mean, if you poop once a day, you're looking at like $150 a month.
That's not bad.
So that times 12.
Hey,
would be a yearly.
I don't know. I
Guys-
don't know what you guys are eating, but pooping is not really an inconvenience for me.
Also, like, I'm already getting paid to poop.
So
a lot of times.
$1,800. So what? $1,800 a year for something
that
you're already
much.
doing, or you never have to poop again. $1,800 a year to poop once a day, or never poop again.
I mean, I don't think you
Drastic-
save.
I think I would take the money.
Yeah,
I would never poop
I would
again.
take-
I don't think you save that much by not pooping. I
Saving
mean,
money.
pooping. It's also a time of relaxation. Like you got smartphones now and shit.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
depends.
also
Fuck.
it's
like
also
American pooping is very informal, very quick, very like by the nose. But in Europe, it's an experience. They take their time. It's like you'll be in the bathroom for an hour pooping.
two things. One,
That was a joke.
I don't think I would want to give up, like, because it gives you sometimes it gives you a reason to get up out of your office and go
Right.
get away from
And
work a
think
little
about
bit.
that. If you take a shit at work, you're getting paid twice.
That's what I've said.
to poop.
Sure.
I take. All
I
my
was gonna
shit
say
there.
I was gonna take the route of
If you
If
take
you
a
did the
shit
math-
at work,
if you did the math, I might already be getting paid more.
two
than
different people
$5
are
to take a
spending
shit.
a lot of money for you to extrude feces out of your butthole.
All right, let's next question.
All right, next question from Big Baz. Found myself watching the last half of Batman and Robin the other night. Who would do a decent Mr. Freeze? What?
He wants to know who.
My suggestion would be Bruce Willis or Mark Strong, maybe.
Okay, first of all, I don't get the Bruce Willis thing. I looked up Mark Strong, so I wasn't sure who that was.
Oh.
Mark Strong would be a fucking
J.K. Simmons.
Mark Strong would be an incredible Mr. Freeze.
yes.
Actually.
Like he looks like Mr. Freeze. Like
Bruce
how
Willis,
picture him.
I don't like.
Yeah, I don't see Bruce. Just because he's bald and white doesn't make him Mr. Freeze.
Michael.
I mean,
Michael
might as well say
Fassbender?
Mr. Clean at that point.
Michael Fassbender could do it.
I'm trying to think of...
What's that dude's name from Magnolia? The one with the braces. He was in ER.
Oh, he was in Top Gun.
No, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
No, that's not who I'm talking about.
Oh, well.
But that's who you're thinking.
No,
of.
no.
Yeah, who else was in ER?
Norm McDonald.
George Clooney. No, what's the dude's name?
There
He
was a
was
lot
in
of people in
Magnolia.
ER.
He was the dude with the braces. That wanted to
I
get
don't
braces
remember
to, like,
Magnolia at
impress some
all.
other dude.
I'm sure somebody in chat knows. I've got
He's-
it. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Fuck you.
No.
Who was that dude?
Hey, you know what? That movie may have sucked, but without
Look
it,
it
we
up.
wouldn't have gotten that sweet Alamo Drafthouse
You know, I would want to see
ad.
Gary Oldman as not like the over-the-top, like Mr. Freeze, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but more like Batman Animated Adventure, where he's more collected.
yeah, I mean
Almost
that's
robotic.
Hang on.
I know.
That's
Crispy.
all
I know.
anybody
I
is
know.
thinking
I know,
of.
Crispy.
But,
But that's what I'm thinking.
William H. Macy.
Oh, William H. Macy. William H. Macy was in ER?
Yeah.
William H. Macy as
He
Mr.
died-
Freeze?
Yeah, he was
Wait,
one of the
he
boss
was in ER? I didn't
doctors.
know
He was
that.
one of the boss doctors. I think
he's
he
one of
died.
the like attending physicians.
I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Wow, that's weird.
That is a
You could also say the
That's
guy
a-
from Shameless.
that's a weird choice, but okay.
Yeah. Or the guy from Fargo. Or the guy from
Sean-
Mystery Men.
Sean Bean.
The
Magnolia.
Shoveler.
Sean Bean. Would be
Magnolia's pretty good. I like Magnolia.
All right, let's move on. Next question. Wingless. With the announcement of The Division 2, does everyone think Ubisoft will create a super successful game and absolve Chris Davis of his sins? Or will it be a middling game with a hardcore community that doesn't reach to the mainstream? P.S. Somebody should check out the new gameplay trailer for State of Decay 2 because it looks super fun to play as a community. With 4 players, wink, cough, nudge, wink.
All right, there's a lot to unpack there. One, I think
I think it's going to be shit.
first of all, I think the video game industry in general, for the this is a kind of a broad sweeping statement and not always true, I admit, but I feel like video games have a much higher success rate as far as sequels go, as far as being a better than the original. Unlike movies, I think people tend to gravitate towards the original. Video games tend to usually improve upon, because you're improving upon more than just the story. You're improving upon like the production values and technology and all that stuff.
Sure.
I would be willing to bet that Division 2 is better than the Division 1.
Probably.
Here's the thing. I think there's a lot of stuff in the Division that is really cool. When I was playing it when it first came out, this like the Dark Zone and all that shit, that was really fun. There was a lot of really neat stuff going on there. I don't know what the game looks like nowadays. Chris Davis could probably tell us, but he can't. But I think that it's possible that if they've... Ubisoft seems to be like pretty on the ball as far as like focus testing shit, you know, like look at the Assassin's Creed series. Like they got so fucking nitpicky about like what did people like, what did people not like. Let's get rid of like a lot of the stuff that people don't like, keep the stuff that people do like, to the point where they were like putting questionnaires in the middle of the fucking game just to gauge people's response.
Yeah.
So if that mechanism holds true and they're able to call out a lot of the first game's problems and keep what is good and what is interesting about the game in the sequel, I think Division 2 could be great. However, it is still going to be one of those quote-unquote lifestyle games that, like, I don't know that I'll really have the time or devotion to put into it, you know?
What if
for people who do play it, it could be...
What if the Division 2 is a single-player,
start
story-based linear
shut
shooter?
up.
It's
It's
not
not
gonna
gonna
It
be.
won't.
It will not be.
That's not happening.
Guys.
I hope it's good. I
I'm
hope
just
Chris
kidding.
Davis gets to play a lot of it.
All right, moving on. Next question, because we got more. Krita. Wow. 4Player has been around for 10 plus years. Y'all dudes are technically my dads by default. Been watching since I was 14. It really jimmies my jams that you guys are still at it, and it makes me so happy. I love all of you. Anyways, I know y'all did a little party for the 10-year anniversary of broadcasting on JTV/Twitch.
We did.
Are there any other plans to delegate this milestone? Bring back some previous members and marathon games? Will you ever finally tell Chris Davis he's right about something? I've noticed that Travis in Discord and chat. Jack's been around for guest podcasts. Are you canoodling a plan? Is there a secret?
We'll see. Now it's like if we're to answer truthfully, like, I don't want to.
I mean,
I don't want to disappoint her.
I mean, there's the why not be truthful?
I mean, I'm going to be truthful. I don't want to disappoint you.
You're her dad.
I
Tell her the
don't.
truth.
We did.
No, there's no plan.
There's no plan.
That was it. What do you want from us?
We don't do plans, really.
Yes, Travis has been in Discord. We have spoken with Travis.
Jack's
a little
been
bit.
around. He was on a podcast. Jack was on a
4Player
podcast
D&D was the most planned we'd ever done.
a couple months ago. We need to do more
He was
4Player
back
D&D.
for wasn't
Wolfenstein.
he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So yeah, I mean, there's no real plans though.
But
we just kind of we literally this show, this whole thing we do is kind of just something, you know, we know we're all going to get together on Thursday nights, and we just kind of we're very fluid here. We just kind of roll with it. We kind of base what we do on what's happening in the industry and what our schedules look like, and that's kind of all we can do. So I don't know. We don't really have any special plans. I'm sorry, but we always try and find fun, exciting things to do for you guys, and we'll continue to do that.
Cool. Moving on. Final question from the evening from Naluffy. Is there a genre in video games you refuse to play? I refuse to play MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota. It's just not my thing, and I refuse to go play one.
I also
MOBAs.
refuse to play MOBAs.
Or sports games, like if they're just like straight up like very realistic sports games, and they
Yep.
don't have any kind of
I
cool
feel like-
hitch to them.
I feel
you
like
know
we're all
what,
on the
though?
same
Like,
page here. Sports games,
I don't-
MMOs, Dotas, or MOBAs.
Yeah.
I really don't care about sports games. I normally will never go out and like rent one to play on my own. But with people, NHL
Sure, I
can
mean-
be really fun. MLB the show can be really fun. Madden can be
can
really
be.
fun. Like I will not, like, if somebody came to me and was like, "Hey, let's play NHL 14," I'd be like, "Cool, let's play it." Great.
14.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the last NHL game I played. I don't know. Fuck off. I don't. Yeah, leave me alone.
What about-
But if someone was like, if my roommate was like, "I'm playing Smite. Let's play Smite," I would be like, "You go fuck yourself." No, I'm not gonna play a MOBA with you.
What about RTSs?
I'll play
RTSs are cool. They're
We play
stressful.
RTSs for sure. I mean, it may not be a genre I play a whole lot of, but I don't think I would ever outright refuse to play it because it's an RTS.
All right, that's it. Thanks for the questions, guys.
Did you miss a question?
No,
Visual novel.
I mean,
Because Shadow, our new
I don't like
Our new
playing
patron said he
good
put up a
games.
question.
Did he put up a
Like playing what?
question
I don't like playing
like
good games.
recently?
Good game.
You
know
'Cause
what?
I pulled
You're
them
right.
during the break.
I'll take a
so
look. We can move on because
I can take a look too, Nick. I can pull it.
I don't
up.
like
It's
playing
just-
good games.
I pull them during the break, so if
Yeah.
you ask it after the break, that's your own.
Well,
fault.
I thought I saw him do it earlier than that. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't like playing bad games.
Oh, no, I don't see it.
I don't like playing games.
I don't play the best games.
Shadow, did you put it on the wrong?
Maybe he put it on last week's
on
podcast.
episode 540. Because if so, then we're not going to read yours because you're wrong.
We can move on. We'll find it if it's there and we'll answer it.
Children that are wrong.
I'll check the emails. That's the way to do it. All right. Thank you guys for your questions. Of course, if you're interested in supporting us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/4player. $1 a month is all it takes. You can ask us any question you want, and we'll answer it on the show every week. And you get 24-hour early access to every show the day after it's recorded without ads. So keep that in mind. Now it's time to wrap up the show with a 4-player minute. Who would like to start us off?
Not me.
Crispy?
Okay.
Stop.
Crispy's
whatever.
going to do it.
Whatever, fuck you. My hype this week is to finish Westworld.
Hell yeah.
Probably by fucking Saturday. I'll be done with that. That show's so good. I love it. My sweat is for Deep Rock Galactic. I really like a lot of the ideas going into the game, but I don't see it being good, if not to be too harsh. But like I just
Harsh,
I
man.
want to see it bloom, you know, and I can't even imagine what that would look like yet. I need to play some more. I need to maybe read up on it or just wait for it to get farther along in development. But I usually, when I play an early access game and I like it, it's because I can see like, oh, okay, well, it's not complete right now, but when it gets here, like I could see how them adding this and doing this would make it a better game. You know, that's the way I felt when Subnautica was in early access, you know? It's like I could see where this could get good. Now, when that game did move into 1.0, it definitely had some things that I didn't account for, that I didn't see coming, but yeah, I mean, I at least had a picture of what a good version of that would look like, and I don't have that with Deep Rock Galactic, but I want to.
Sure.
My, yeah, right? You like that.
Butter's like, what's up?
I do that sometimes.
Jesus, I don't know. My fucking...
When all else fails, just pick
My
hype and
next
just-
hype is for Red Dead Redemption 2. Shit, man. That game's gonna be so good.
You know what you should do? You should play Red Dead
I'm
Redemption
gonna go
1.
play Red Dead Redemption 1. My other hype is for more Into the Breach. Because unlike this fucking goober over here, I still got an entire lifetime of Into the Breach ahead of me. I'm never gonna get all those achievements. I've only got like 4 mech
Chris,
teams unlocked, but
I believe in you. If I did it, you can do it.
yeah, I could. But I won't.
Nolan?
Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out October 27th.
26th.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think you took the wrong day off work.
Oh no, dude! when I went into Ben Prunty's stream before Into the Breach came out because he was streaming Darkest Dungeon or something.
26th.
And I was like, "Hey Ben, I'm so hyped for Into the Breach." What day did Into the Breach come out? 27th, right?
Something like that.
I was like, I already requested the 26th stuff. I'm gonna play all day. It's gonna be hype. And Ben was like reading chat messages. I requested messages. No, homie, no. What are you doing? And I was like, what?
Was it the wrong day? That's funny.
I was messing up.
Anyway, all right, my 4-player minute starts now. My hype is for 3DS. What was that game?
Luigi's Mansion?
No, the other one. Wario. WarioWare Gold on the 3DS. This Nintendo, even though it was mediocre at best, has actually got me excited for a couple of things. Besides that, my hype is for Luigi's Mansion. That's a game I never finished on the GameCube. When the GameCube came out, I had a grand total of like 4 games for it. And so I never really got to... I played it. I think I borrowed it from The fuck was that, Butters?
No, I think that was Chris Davis.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Did you fart? What was that?
He was exhaling.
He was laying in a
Jesus.
sunbeam.
Resident Evil 4, Mario.
Shut up! Shut your mouth!
Sign
Shut your
with
mouth hole.
content.
So then, my hype is for Octopath Traveler. I'm glad that game has a release date now, and that's the official name. I'm excited to play it. I enjoyed the demo. It seems like it's gonna be a pretty expansive game. Yep. And then my hype is for State of Decay 2.
These are all hypes.
Holy shit, State of Decay 2. So fucking good. I can't wait for it. The only thing that sucks is I might have to buy it on the Microsoft Store.
Is it max 4 players?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
I don't want to have to buy it on the Microsoft Store, but...
Can you all, like, split a copy? Can you play simultaneously? Like, if you buy it on the Xbone,
No, I
then
don't
you
think
can
so.
use the Windows 10
No, because I think they
copy?
share the same save.
Yeah, no,
data.
it's your user. Yeah, so no, I don't think you can. Anyway,
Oh, is that
that's it. Yeah.
cool? Carlos?
Sure. My fuck you is to myself. I played way too much Into the Breach. Probably
Yeah,
shouldn't have
that's
played
not-
that much
that's
Into
not
the
a thing.
Breach. But you know what? Everything's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Pretty good game. My sweat is recently people in Discord have been talking a lot about older games. Like today we're talking about Splinter Cell Blacklist.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, that game was really good. And then I realized there's all these games on the 360 that I have like the discs for and that I have like on my like digital games
Yeah.
that I never finished or that I never played. And I'm like, man, I really want to play them again. But my 360 is like all Frankensteined up and shit.
Dude, go to Goodwill. They sell 360s for like fucking $20.
I know, but and I was like, man, should I buy like a used 360 or something? And I actually tried doing that. I went to GameStop
No.
and they sold me one and it didn't work, and I took it back and they're like, here's another one, and I took that one and it didn't work, and I was like, dude, just give me my money.
Well, that
Sounds about right.
So now I've been not after today, but past couple days I've been like looking at Craigslist ads, seeing if there's like maybe one out there in good condition,
Yeah.
because mostly I want to download all my digital games, like
Yeah.
join a hard drive and be done forever. My thank you is to Skyliner. She very graciously gifted me a copy of Overwatch on PC.
Nice.
The game is pretty good. I liked it on PS4, and it's better on PC.
Of course.
Yeah. Plus, I get to play with all the gang,
Nice.
all the community, because they all have it on PC.
I bet.
And my hype is, you know what? 4 things.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's too many.
Hollow Knight DLC. Hopefully it adds boss rush mode, because it was really fun fighting the bosses in the game, and there's no real way to relive any of those battles.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon DLC. I love Darkest Dungeon. I want to play that game, but I'm going to wait until the DLC is out so I can more properly enjoy some new content. FTL. There's a couple of ship variants I didn't unlock. I fired that game up a bit past couple days just to see how it fares against Into the Breach. Still great. Still want to try to unlock those ship variants. And my last hype, Into the Breach, baby. Damn, gonna do a random squad.
Jump into my breach.
Gonna get some mods. I'm gonna get like your face modded into the game.
Of course you are.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be great.
very Carlos
It's
of
gonna
you.
be great.
Thank you,
I'm
Carlos.
gonna learn coding just so I can mod Nick into the Breach.
Fantastic. All right, my hype is actually for Far Cry 5. It's March. Far Cry
Oh,
5 is
fuck.
coming soon.
Forgot.
Jesus Christ.
I love me some Far Cry, and yeah, it's coming sooner than I thought. And I don't really. There's not any really new releases for me personally that I'm gonna be picking up before that, so I'm just kind of focusing on old stuff right now. Which brings me to my other hype, which is Hollow Knight. I beat the Soul Master last night, which is a boss I was kind of stuck on. To be fair, I hadn't played it in like a month or two because of Game of the Year stuff. But I beat the boss last night. Very, very happy with myself. And I'm excited to get back to a point where I can start exploring the game more again. My sweat is to Nintendo in 2018, mostly just because I had a lot of momentum coming out of 2017 with the Switch. But I haven't picked up my Switch in a while. And I don't want that to happen in 2018. I want there to be more stuff for me to play. I know I'm going to pick up Octopath Traveler But not a whole lot of the Switch stuff they showed today at the Nintendo Direct was really speaking to me on any level. So I don't know. I'm kind of worried. Huh?
Bayonetta 3?
Oh, Bayonetta 3. Yeah,
I
was.
show,
If that does in fact come out this year, I do hope. Praising the sun. I do hope that there's some stuff that I can get into in 2018. Not to say I think it's gonna have a bad year, just maybe not the year for me. And my fuck you goes to myself for a really stupid reason. I was making dinner the other night, and I only had I had less than an hour.
You were indulging in your favorite hobby?
I did not have, I was cooking. I didn't have a lot of time before my stream.
Mm-hmm.
I had about an hour to finish cooking dinner, and I wanted to watch something. And I don't like watching starting something and then not finishing it.
Sure.
So I was like, I gotta find something quick and easy I can watch. And I got on Netflix, and I let myself, oh God, I'm so sorry. I let myself get back into Supernatural.
God damn it.
Whoa. What season?
9.
Whoa! You
I
are offside, sir.
I said I was
offside.
done with that show years ago, but Netflix always remembers. It never forgets.
Yeah.
It never forgets where you left off. And you know what? I still like those characters. And the past few episodes I've actually kind of liked, so I'm kind of watching that show again.
You're the worst person.
I know.
The worst
Go fuck myself.
person.
I suck.
Hey, Jessica Jones came out.
Today.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Today,
I still
actually.
haven't seen
You know the guy from Supernatural's brother was my doctor once?
Did you know
Is
one
he
of the guys from Supernatural has a brewery here in Austin?
That's probably the brother.
Yeah. Anyways, that's it for our show, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry we got a late start this evening, but a lot of you guys hung out with us despite the fact that it's going on pretty late. Carlos, thank you for being here.
Sure.
Thank you for playing Into the Breach and coming to talk to us about it.
I love it.
4playernetwork.com is, of course, our website. We'll be back next Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode. You can catch us streaming every single night at 4pp.tv. And again, if you're not in our Discord, please join us. Discord.gg/4player is a
lot of fun.
place to be. It's a lot of fun. Keeps you in touch with everybody. It's one of the best things to happen to our community in a long time. So go check that out. And yeah, I guess we will see y'all next week for another episode. Good night.
Bye.